the Outlaw riding in on a Monday morning, riding on his horse for SEN Live. How y'all doing? Sitting in for Christian Harloff. I'm excited. There is so much to talk about. We thought we would just be talking about fireworks and an uneventful July 4th. Well, we got a crap ton of news to get to, and we got a great crew today to do it with us as well. Right there below me, the lovely and beautiful Kate Mulligan. How are you, Kate?
Good, thank you.
RB3 handling all the controls. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great. How you doing? How you doing, John?
I'm doing good, man. I can't wait to talk to this guy. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! Ben Goddard, how are you? We were talking about that off screen. How are you, my man?
I'm great, dude. I'm excited to talk about Hamilton with you guys.
Oh, definitely. Finally saw it. And the guy who's the biggest Hamilton guy we know over there, Brett Sheridan. You love history and music.
Oh, yeah. Hamilton, Flamilton, Shamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton.
Nice.
There's your Brett rap, everybody.
Yeah, there it is. He did it. He finally did it.
What you didn't know was that was the last song to be cut before they really solidified the show. They had that one where Brett came in, Hamilton.
Yeah, that's the Snyder cut of Hamilton right there.
Put that on HBO Max. Talk about a nightmare. All right. So much to get to today. Thank you all so much for joining us live on SEN Live. Please remember, we function, we run on your Streamlabs, on your Superchats. The SCHMOEBOT we turn on in just a little bit, but you love having us all back. So many of you have given us so many great compliments over the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks. So to make that happen is for you guys supporting the show every day, supporting all the people who are coming on here. We already got the list of people who are coming on the next few days. Trust me, it's going to be an awesome, awesome week of stuff from SEN Live. So let's jump into the news. Ben, what do you got for us, man?
Let's talk about Hamilton. It got released on July 3rd, this Friday. It was trending the entire weekend. It's been sold out across the country for Broadway shows for years now. I've actually had a few friends be in, the replacement cast. So I really, really wanted to see this for a long time. I just saw Book of Mormon with Alex Marzonia right before everything shut down. So that really lived up to the hype for me. So I was really excited about this. Kate, you said you've seen it before. John, you watched it this weekend.
Yes.
RB3, did you get a chance to watch it?
Oh, yes, I did.
Nice. So what? You guys start off. What were your thoughts on Hamilton?
I gotta tell you, I want to go straight to John because yes, because you were the one that I'm actually interested. Because you said you were like First Amendment, it's just not for me. So I'm interested to know.
Amendment. No, here's what I'll say, and I'm gonna save it for the review I do for the channel, but I'm gonna touch on my thoughts overall. And that is, I was surprised. I thought for sure the first few minutes, I'm like, oh, crap, it's going to be this for 2.5 hours. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make it. And then the ladies came in, the Schuyler sisters, and their trio, their song absolutely hooked me into the show. And I'm like, okay, I understand what this is now. And there's going to be a balance of the spoken word stuff, the rap allusions to the styles of different rap they're going to use. But there's going to be actual Broadway musical songs mixed in with all of this. As long as there's a balance, I'm good to go. And then I really was just hooked in for the rest of the time. Really enjoyed the first act more than the second act for my own personal reasons. But overall, not a waste of time at all. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Only a 1 minute intermission, which you never get in an actual Broadway show, which surprised me. What was the point? But I get you want to delineate the difference between the Revolutionary War and then post-Revolutionary War. So overall, though, fantastic performances from everybody except for Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's I've heard that if you see someone else do it, it elevates the show a little bit. He just doesn't radiate to me as an immigrant who struggled through a bunch of stuff to get to the position that he's in. You need a little more of a rawness to him to see that, the anger, the seething anger that Hamilton must have had to have had so many confrontations in his life. So, but Leslie Odom as Aaron Burr, Holy Mary, Mother of God.
So good.
So good. Jonathan Groff as King George. I mean, ironically, the white dude stepping in and stealing scenes whenever he goes into this multicultural cast. That's a nice switch or change of pace. And, of course, Renee Elise Goldsberry as Angelica was, she was my just the person that I wanted to watch in every scene. So, overall, great songs, too. My Jam is now officially on my new workout mix. That is, or my shot, rather. My Shot. That's such a great, great song. So that's my overall thoughts. What did you guys think?
Well, as a Biggie fan, too, did you like the 10 crack commandments?
Yes.
The 10 dual commandments?
They made a good job, referencing that and then coming back to it later on in the show to make it work, and gave it even more weight when they came back to it a second time. So yeah, I enjoyed that too. Yeah. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I knew the music well before I ever saw the show. I saw it out here in LA, and the King George part, I remember hearing like people saying like, "Oh God, King George is so funny," and the guy I saw in LA, no offense to him, I just didn't get it, and I was like, no, the songs are funny, but it's not like. I just remember people like my mom and dad saw it in Chicago, and they're like, "Oh, King George took the house down." I'm like, "What?" And then seeing Jonathan Groff do it, who like I just sort of feel like probably every King George after him has been like, I have to make it my own, I just can't do what he did. I'll tell you what, just do what he did. Like just copy what he did, because he was still, and so then when he does do this, it's like the biggest movement you've ever seen. Like I don't know, he was so fantastic. But I'll tell you what, Renee, for me, same with you, John. So she was up for Best Supporting because Philippa Sue was actually up for the Tonys. Philippa Sue, guess who won that year? I looked it up. Cynthia Erivo. Duh. Because if anybody's ever seen her performance in Color Purple, there's no... I'm gonna stand up. I mean, she just like... you've never... it gives me chills to even think about her performance.
She's a star. Cynthia Erivo is a star, man. I can't wait to see.
So there's no way Philippa Sue was going to win that. She was great. The women, I have to say, John, for me, like... when we've been listening to the soundtrack, my son will be like, "Is this your favorite song?" I'm like, "No." It's not until "Satisfied," which is the women. You know, it's Renee's song. I'm like, "No, this is my favorite song." Yeah. And then Aaron Burr's song. Oh God, the one.
It wasn't in the room, or which one?
No, the one that comes almost right after "Satisfied." He's like, I'll wait for it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna wait for it. Death doesn't discriminate. Anyway, it was so magical to be able to see it again, and I think there was things that I caught seeing the stage version on screen that I didn't see seeing the stage version in the back of a theater. Yeah. And I felt like the performances, especially that original Broadway cast, were so nuanced, so incredible. I had always wanted to see Daveed Diggs. Yeah. The guy who did Jefferson out here was incredible also, but I'd always wanted to see Daveed Diggs because he... I feel like created that part, and it was I just feel like it was such a treat. I actually watched it with my 5-year-old, and he, it just got a little too long for him at some point. So right after the intermission, he sort of bailed at some point. But I just think it's also just such like it's so timely too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Rocha and Kate's 5-year-old had the same problems with.
Hey, no, that's where my girlfriend was out 5 minutes in. She was done. She's like, I can't. Yeah, she's not her jam. Just not her.
That's the thing. I'm always curious about is like when you see someone get big from something like Daveed Diggs, you always want to see what they got big from, and so that's who I was looking forward to seeing in this, and he didn't disappoint as Lafayette or as the Jefferson-Hamilton rap battle in Congress was easily the best part for me. Like how he was like, you were in France, you own slaves, you're
we all know who does the planting.
Yeah, exactly. Like God, that was just so good. And like that really resonated with me. But yeah, just I liked it. I didn't love it. It's hard to say that Lin-Manuel was the weakest part because he's not a Broadway actor. Like he wrote and directed, but he was good. But like when you're surrounded by this mass amounts of talent, it's. But I
gets kudos for writing it and for
exactly.
He gets enough kudos. Yeah. But in comparison, there are just better actors out there. That's all.
Yeah, I just saw that it was kind of trending, because, the majority of Americans are seeing it now for the first time. And everyone's like, oh, man, Lin-Manuel's like terrible. And it's like, he's so bad. It's like, he's not bad. He's just next to all these amazing.
He's just not Renee.
Yeah, he's just not a Broadway star. But I did like it. There was a little too much information all at once, like coming at you. I feel like you have to put subtitles on to figure out like Lon put it perfectly. It's almost like a Schoolhouse Rock episode. Like that's really, really good with all the information. So it took a little bit for me to get enveloped in the characters because I was still processing everything they were doing. Right. So like when someone dies, I was like, okay, I should be sad, but all right. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. What about you, RB3?
Yeah, what do you think,
Yeah, I mean, I loved it across the board. This is my first time consuming anything Hamilton, like music. Or, like, I didn't even, when they did the whole Grammy performance a few years ago, I didn't even watch that because I knew eventually I wanted to watch it somehow, some way. So, like, I've always, I walked into it having no idea what it was. Like, obviously you know the name, but you don't know what it's going to be. And you see the trailers. So I also kind of went into it ready to hate it, you know, because I'm like, oh, what are these white liberals been telling me about for years, like about this amazing musical.
I would have seen Hamilton 3 times if I could have.
Yeah. But then I actually went into it and, literally. But I went into it and I loved it. And I honestly, like, I found no complaints with it personally. I thought Lin-Manuel Miranda was great personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought everything about it was kind of flawless in my personal opinion. And you know, I did theater in high school, like, you know, in drama class or whatever.
Right.
And you know, I kind of am sad that, like, I kind of graduated when I graduated because there was at least, like, we were always kind of looking for an opportunity to do something kind of cool and fun and unique and interesting like this. And this is something, I mean, I've seen a lot of musicals. We did a lot of musicals when I was in high school and you know, even in college, like going to actively participate in like the USC Dramatic Arts program. I wasn't like in the program, but I just went to see the plays and stuff like that, you know. And there's really never been anything like this kind of like cool and groundbreaking. Now, obviously, like, it is, you know, because of how much we've been exposed to like the talent after the fact, like, because we know Lin-Manuel Miranda from stuff like, you know, Moana and the new Mary Poppins movie, and we know Daveed Diggs from like Blind Spotting and Blackish. Like, we know all the stars subsequently, like, because of the show, and we kind of know their voice, like, and it kind of spawned a lot of that. So I guess the freshness doesn't hit as hard, only because we've had the after effects of it for like 4 years, 5 years, but we are barely getting to see it for the first time. But overall though, I had no complaints. I thought it was one of the best things I've ever seen in like a long time. This is probably, I mean, you know, without question, it's probably the best movie of the year in my opinion. So
wow, okay,
yeah, and it wouldn't even be close for me. So I know it's a play, but you know, and honestly, like, it was shot like a film, so it could count. It was shot like a film, and part of me, it's kind of sad that I didn't get to see it in the theater because I can't. You clearly see, like, you miss some things, like when it's filmed versus when it's in the theater. Like, there are times where, like, why didn't they go to the wide shot when it's like in the close up? But other than that, like, that's just tiny nitpicks. But to me, overall, like, the story, the presentation, the acting, the songs, absolute perfection for me.
So I want to ask that, like, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer like a West Side Story like movie musical, or do you like kind of like the production of the stage? I don't know. Me being a guy who doesn't get out to see a lot of Broadway stuff, but loves musicals and loves stage musicals, I think the New York City Public Library and Broadway themselves, there is just stacks and stacks of videoed, productions of these kinds of shows. So if you can't get out to watch it, this is a great way to watch it. And to do a version of this where you're actually in the world, I think would be an incredible challenge, and I don't know if it 100% would work, to be honest with you. But you know, I'd be down to see it. I just liked seeing this in its natural habitat on stage, and like RB3 said, sometimes I think it's how could he say this? It's one or the other, right? It's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. In that, I like that we got close-ups of these actors that I wouldn't be able to get if I was sitting way back in the theater or, you know, on the balcony. I wouldn't have been able to see the close-up of Lin-Manuel or Leslie Odom or Renee or Jonathan Groff seeing the spit fly out of his mouth. I would not have seen the madness of that if it hadn't been filmed a certain way. But by RB3's his point is valid as well. There are certain ways they shot it that took away the feeling of being in the theater. So it was weird to include the audience because it deludes you that you feel like you're there. So I don't know. It's a combination overall that was interesting to watch for sure. Brett, do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I did want to see it, and we got the kids to bed too late last night, so at 10:30 I put it, you know, like, let's time to watch Hamilton. Wait, it's 2 hours and 50 minutes long, so we obviously did not watch that. But I love musicals. I was in a ton of musicals when I was a kid. But we had, like RB3 said, we had like, you know, a constant run of these old, like Hello Dolly, just, you know, like your basic carousel, and all these just old, just rotation, you know. Out there's a world outside of Yonkers. Yes, thank you.
Oh, great. I could listen to you sing all day.
Right? Barnaby, there's a slick down Barnaby. So anyway,
SCHMOEBOT for Brett's musicals real quick.
$20. I recommend checking out the final Broadway night recording of Rent. As PJ Campbell said last weekend, make and release more professional Broadway recordings and support the theater workers and actors affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, possibly.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah. And
so definitely I'm going to check it out just to, you know, wrap this up. But yeah, I want to check it out. It's something that I'm interested in, but I'd love to see it live. But like you said, the seats that I would be able to afford, we wouldn't be able to see the faces, and I'd probably be behind a pole, like when I saw Lion King at the Pantages. It was like,
I was in they call it when you buy the tickets, you're like, why is this ticket so cheap? They're like obscured view. Yeah. And I was like, I'll take it. That's all I can afford.
2006 Kate had different obscured views in theaters.
2007. We have to be very clear about the year.
Fair point.
2006, I was with someone. Okay.
Well, Sen, what did you all think who were watching us live here? Did you like this version of Hamilton? Had you seen it on stage? Let us know in the Super Chats and Streamlabs, or in the SCHMOEBOT as well. And of course, as Ben just referenced, send in your SCHMOEBOT to have Brett Sheridan sing the greatest songs.
Sing some more songs.
From
going
musicals.
to rap, have him belt some notes out there.
Yeah.
And if you want him to do a rap battle, send it through. Come on. I like that. Why not? That was really fun.
Like to hear Shakespeare's soliloquy about Sylvia. I do that one as well.
Just don't ask him to say soliloquy again.
Soliloquy, yes.
Soliloquy. Is it what?
Soliloquy.
Is that a shorter version of a monologue? All right. Do we have Brett? Do you have a thing to read today, or are you good?
I do. Are we doing it right now?
Yeah, let's jump into it at the 20-minute mark. Let's do it.
I didn't get to come up with like a fun segue.
I'll give you one.
Here's your soliloquy.
Boy, my legs are so hairy.
Oh, okay. You know what you should do? You should check out Harry's.com. Because I bet you're paying too much for your blades, Kate. And you know how much you could save by switching to Harry's? Enough to buy 26 cups of coffee in New York City. That's a lot of money.
That's
3D dish
$7 billion
dinners in Chicago. Enough to pay 6 months of your Netflix subscription. Yeah. You know why? Because Harry's razor blades are as low as $2 each. That is a fraction of the price, and you're saving hundreds of dollars over time. I know for a fact. I used to get the Mach 17 with 30 blades or something. No, it would have 17. And those were horrible. You get a pack of 4, what is like $25. And I discovered Harry's, and it's what I like about it most is because I'm a cheapskate. It's cheap, and they're good quality blades and at a great price. So what you need to do is get your Harry's trial set delivered to your doorstep by going to harrys.com/SEN. So Harry's is a return to the essential. You get quality, durable blades at a fair price, just $2 a blade. That's insane. They cut out the middleman, manufacturing blades in their German blade factory that's been honing precision blades for a century. So it's super convenient. You get them delivered to your door. You can do it with or without a subscription, which is nice. You get the blades, hair care products, shower products, all at harrys.com. And just like the blades, Harry's is committed to providing premium products without breaking the bank. And 1% of the proceeds are set aside for nonprofit organizations donated to help provide access to better mental health care for men and veterans. And to help those in need right now, Harry's is donating $1 million worth of shaving supplies to hospitals across the U.S. That's super cool. So, I just spilled my water. Listeners of the show can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/SCN. You'll get a weighted ergonomic handle with a firm grip, 5-blade razor with lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel to keep your skin hydrated, very nice, a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry, and easy to grab and go. So go to harrys.com/SCN to start shaving and saving today.
I always love really well done, Brett. I always love, like, I forget what it's called, but like when you mix two expressions, you know, like cut out the middleman and trim the fat. It sounded like you were about to say cut out the middle fat, and I'm going to use that now.
Nice.
I'd love to.
If Harry's does that, I'll take 2, please.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are trying to do that with COVID-19.
I'm going to grab a towel real quick. I just dumped a gallon of water on my bathroom.
All right.
Bedroom.
I had a friend once say the funniest thing ever. She put this in a script of hers. I hope she won't mind me saying it. But she said, I'm stuck between a rock and a Sophie's choice.
I like it.
Nice.
Oh, so
one of my favorite community jokes was like, he's like, Donald Glover's like, I'm giving you an old tomato. That means if you don't do what I want, I'm giving you the oldest tomato, and it's going to be terrible.
When Brett comes back, he's going to Broadway sing the thing again.
Yeah, exactly.
Broadway sing the whole ad again.
Back to Hamilton. Oh, sorry. Are we moving on from Hamilton?
Oh, no. One more thing.
I was going to say, you had asked, Bennett asked if we liked the stage version or if we wanted to see it as
Mr.
a movie.
Anus donated $20. Yes. Just wanted to say, Ben, well played match. You're the winner in my book.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cheryl _Dick_Pants donated $20.
Ooh.
Hey gang. Movie I watched over the weekend was Die Hard 4. I love the first 3 and don't get why people do like this movie. It is still Die Hard and Bruce Willis is still John McClane without some extra swearing and violence. Come on, people.
He's running on top of a jet plane. It's not really John McClane anymore, but okay.
I will defend Die Hard 4.
$20.
I will defend Die Hard 4.
Soliloquy. Hey, Brett, did I say it correctly? Soliloquy. Hey,
oh,
kids,
that last
I'm not
one.
going to waste my shot. How you doing?
Oh, God. Did anybody else see Dickie just directly? It scared me because I'm like, there's a man crawling behind me. Dickie, you can it's okay. You can be in here. Oh, there he goes again.
There he goes.
There he goes. There he goes. There he goes.
You fixing the plumbing there, Dickie? What's going on there? Anyway, all right.
He's skinny. He's losing weight in quarantine, and I'm gaining it for him.
He's just transferring from one body to the other.
That's exactly right. I'm like, I'll take that. Thank you.
You finally perfected that. Yeah. What's up? What's next?
Moving on, we've got Black Widow news.
Yeah.
Who was it? Kevin Feige came out or Shortland.
He was Kate Shortland, the director of the movie.
Kate Shortland, the director. Yeah. We didn't quote. We didn't know how great Florence Pugh would be. We knew she would be great, but we didn't know how great. Scarlett is so gracious, like, oh, I'm handing her the baton, so it's going to propel another female storyline. End quote. Now, that was kind of the headline that, kind of I don't want to say clickbait, but, that was the quote above the article. Do we think this is spoiler talk? Do we think that, because some people had kind of assumed that, but this takes place before Infinity War, so what baton is she passing? Because she's in Infinity War, but, obviously what happens in Endgame. Do we think this is spoiler talk? Do we think it's misdirection? How do we feel about this news?
I think, like you said, I think it reconfirms what a lot of us had already assumed or had kind of guessed, that she was going to essentially take the mantle from Natasha Romanoff, that is Scarlett Johansson, as Black Widow, and she was going to carry it forward. She's a younger actress. She's only 24, 25 years old. Let that sink in.
So crazy.
Mind-blowing. And she's going to jump into the situation. They're going to go younger. I think Tom Holland stays on some way, in some form with Spider-Man. You're going to go younger. All these moves here for MCU is to go younger so they can stay on the project longer. So that makes sense. I think she's just letting us know. Plus, I also think this is a studio going, look, we'd like to get this timetable going, so let's just start throwing a little bit of facts out there so you can mentally already be prepared when these things start to fall on top of each other as quickly as possible, when we start to be able to release these things. And I've heard from a couple of people who are friends with the studio that they are looking, both Disney and Warner Brothers are both looking at dropping Black Widow and Wonder Woman on streaming services if this thing extends out to the end of the year. They're going to really seriously consider dropping these things just so they can keep going with their 2021 timetable as well. But this is just an interesting tidbit, and I like it. It basically confirms that Florence Pugh is going to take the mantle, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kate.
No, you actually have something valid to say.
No, it's all good. I mean, I definitely Love to see Florence Pugh. I think funnily enough, they probably cast her before she ended up blowing up the way she blew up. So I think it's great that they kind of have that cast locked in. Hopefully she doesn't get tired of the part. I know Jennifer Lawrence kind of got tired of it, of Mystique, because she got Mystique before she became like the Oscar winner, and after she became the Oscar winner, it was kind of tough for her to like stay focused on that. I hope Florence Pugh doesn't fall into that same trap. There's an interesting fan theory that I love online, which I don't think is true, but it's kind of funny. They think that, you know, the theory is, and I don't know, I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but the theory is that in Infinity War, when Black Widow comes back with blonde hair, that is really Florence Pugh because she has blonde hair in the trailer.
Interesting.
But I don't know, and you know, some sort of spy face thing or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. I would love. That would be funny if that was the truth, but I doubt it. But yeah, overall, I'm super excited for this movie. I can't wait.
Can you fool the Soul Stone though? Wasn't she dying so that Jeremy, out of love for Renner and the Avengers, so isn't that what someone has to die so the person gets what they want, someone they love, right? Isn't that how it works?
The theory is that like she came back. You know, Florence Pugh is the blonde Infinity War Black Widow, but then in Endgame when she's
Scarlet
back,
in Endgame.
Yeah, that's the theory. I don't know. I have no like evidence or anything of that, but I think that would be a fun theory if they play that out. But I don't know.
Interesting way to play it out too, because that would explain why Hulk and her never really kind of like or talk about the fact that their relationship is over, or have any kind of closure conversation about the ending of their supposedly dating situation. So that would make sense.
Well, I mean, he ghosted her pretty hard. So.
He took off for 2 years, man. He went to another system. Like, that's ghosting, like, big time.
Yeah.
I'm out of this solar system. What do you say, Kate?
I was going to say two things. First of all, that quote about Florence Pugh, like, we knew she was going to be great. We just didn't know how great. That's how I feel about Ben Goddard being drafted onto my team.
Oh, my gosh. Shut up.
He's going to be great.
Wow.
I didn't know how great.
Ridiculous.
And secondly, the thing I really need to wrap my brain around is not that Florence Pugh is 24. It's that Scarlett Johansson has officially aged out of something.
Like, or how about that Zach Braff is 50?
Yeah, no, I'm shook. I'm shook by that. Scarlett Johansson's not. She's too old?
Yeah.
What? Oh,
I think it's more that she's done with the part. I don't think it's.
I'm just saying, but they could have replaced her with like a, no, they're like, oh great, we can do the thing we've wanted to do, which is get some young blood in there. Oi. That's what I have to say about all of that.
Brett, what about you, bud?
Brett,
I'm with Kate. That's rough. Okay, I mean, with wives maybe, but not actresses.
See a shoe just fly in and hit Brett in the side.
You actually see Lonnie crawl in there.
Yeah.
And just
smack him,
hit him.
and then
Just inject him.
Yeah,
then
we
crawl
have a
back
running
out.
joke, Lonnie and I, that I'm gonna exchange her for a new model, but I always give her an extended a couple of years every year.
So
Wow.
if anybody's ever seen Brett's wife or hung out with her, they know what a joke this is.
No, she thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Over 40? All right, I'll give you till 50. Then we'll see.
Yeah, just
10-year extended warranty. She was pleased with that one. Usually only gave her like 5 or 6, but I upped the game.
I'm hoping that this is some kind of like misdirection, because I do feel like it is a little bit spoilery. I know that like Phantom has been a little too much like, oh my god, that's a spoiler when you just talk about what happens in the plot, like in the first act or something.
In the trailer.
Like, yeah, that's not a spoiler. That's just me talking about what happens in the movie. Like, I'm not revealing a third act twist or anything. But I do think it's like, oh, passing the mantle is like, well, because John, weren't you the one that said like she was for sure Taskmaster? Was that you?
No, I thought what's her face, Rachel Weisz. I thought for sure she was Taskmaster. Then you see her on the plane, which I'm still not out on. I still think she might
think it's
be.
possible.
I think it's possible
and I think I was one of the ones that thought Florence Pugh, because they have that scene where they're kind of doing the same thing and stealing each other's
and their
guns.
sisters supposedly.
Yeah, and so I know that could go back to like their Black Widow training, but I also thought that she could be Taskmaster. So I thought all the fun theories, and then like what you were saying, RB3, I don't think that it's a.
Harry Testicles donated $20.
Oh, thank you.
Sling a schlong. Make it simple. Sling out schlong. La 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 la. What are your favorite parody songs? The Saga Begins and Yoda from Weird Al are a lot of fun, but I also enjoy the Star Wars Cantina from Richard Cheese parodying Copacabana.
I always liked Eat It by Weird Al.
Fat. The music video for Fat instead of Michael Jackson's Bad is the funniest thing.
You ain't fat. You ain't nothing.
You ain't nothing. But I know that a lot of people, and I was one of the ones that, because Laura Kelly missed, what age Anakin is in Phantom Menace, and a lot of people were saying they only knew it because of the Weird Al song. Because, like, do you think they're gonna get together because he's 9 and she's 14? Like, so many people knew that answer because of Weird Al. Like, the artist who never, he's always relevant.
I gotta tell you,
I saw Weird Al Yankovic and Ben Folds bowling once, and that was the coolest thing I've ever.
My first concert was Weird Al.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, nice.
That's dope.
What a random pairing, Ben Folds and
right.
Is that his real name? I know it's the Ben Folds. I guess it's his name, right?
That's got to be his name.
It's got to be.
Unless his
Hootie
name's
Blowfish.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's
N5.
His name's and the Blowfish.
And the Blowfish.
Yeah. I just love that line in Jerry Maguire. No, I am not Hootie. When he tries to get an autograph.
By the way, can I ask something crazy?
No.
So I just looked up. I just did some research. Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm going to just steamroll you all anyway.
As you should.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's 2020. You steamroll all the men you want. It's all you, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just looked up. They have her character name on IMDb.
Oh, yeah.
So
what's her character name?
Does it say Black Widow or does it say Ileana?
Sweaty Ben Reiner donated $20. Kakar Hagang Ben, great match on Friday. I hope you all had a great holiday weekend. I have not seen Hal Meaton yet, might watch it this week. Here's a suggestion for a topic today. What's your favorite survival movie? Mine is either Martian or Castaway.
Movies. Interesting.
I think
start sending in topics for
I think
for
I'm
the
in
second
my
hour.
favorite survival movie.
Which one?
I think I'm in our favorite survival movie.
We're never gonna top this. We're never gonna top this.
Truly.
Yeah,
Don't
no
say that.
movie's ever
2020
gonna top
just
this.
heard you. RB 2020 just hurt you. Don't say that.
I didn't think.
Hold my beer.
No, I didn't think it was gonna get worse after Kobe, but there's no way.
The sniper monkeys are scaring me. When the sniper monkeys show up, I'm out.
Yeah.
What's it? The flamethrower gerbils? I can't do it. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually want to see that. Sorry.
So wait, I guess maybe. Well, here's the thing. I'm just gonna maybe show my cards being an idiot. But does the Black Widow would always be a Natasha? No.
No.
It can be anybody.
It can be anybody who plays Black Widow.
Then never mind. So this has no weight. Okay. Her name's Yelena Belova.
Yeah. In the comics, different people have been Black Widow, but it's usually Natasha Romanoff. So
Yelena Belova? I hardly know her.
Yikes.
What's the man? I need the roadcast. We need that garbage back.
What? RB3, everybody gets assigned a sound cue. Your sound cue, you're just gonna do it, is garbage. Okay?
Garbage.
I'll do meow. Brett, which one do you want to do?
Woo!
Is that the SCHMOEBOTS starting though?
What do you got, Rocha?
Tongue punch fart box. Tongue punch the fart box. That'll be just fine.
Of course, Rocha's excited to say that one. Good.
Yeah.
Rocha has his own soundbite. I want his ass so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
That ass.
Oh man.
Speaking of this, you brought it up, Ben. I actually on vacation. We went out of town, just a little bit out of town, and hung out, and I got to watch some Disney Plus stuff. I just messed around Disney Plus. She was out. She laid out in the sun for like 9 hours reading her book, and I was like, oh, I get to watch streaming services. So I was just like, what can I watch? And I just wanted to try because I want to put my ass in the ring for that Star Wars thing. I just wanted to go back and revisit Phantom Menace. Oh man. I know it's revisionist and people defend it, but I still, man, there are so many problems with that movie.
Hate
just in the first 45 minutes, you're like, how can you defend this? How can you defend the Watto, the Trade Federation guys, the Jar Jar stuff? You're just like, this is like, in 2020, it's like big, huge neon arrows going, this is inappropriate. This is inappropriate. So, and Jake, no offense to Jake, I know he's got his own personal demons that he's dealing with, but like, you watch the young kid, he's okay. He's not that good. So like,
you're on the first name basis with Jake Lloyd?
No, I said Jake Lloyd. I was just trying to be respectful. No. Yeah. And but like after an hour, I turned it off.
Jake too.
I turned it off after an hour. I was just like, I can't. So maybe I can't get into this Star Wars. I can't get that ass anymore.
I was gonna say, you can't even get past Phantom Menace, let alone going in the books and being like, oh, what tool does Watto use to ask Liam Neeson about the power control? Great.
Wait, what's the parking citation? F this, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna say something very controversial. I love Natalie Portman. I don't think she's very good in those movies.
Oh, she wasn't given anything to do.
Well, yeah, she said the same thing, Kate. Okay. She said she went into a deep depression after the prequels because she saw herself in those movies and she thought she was terrible in those movies, and that she really questioned whether she could be an actress. Like she. But
you should tweet at her that you felt that way about her.
Just tweet and attack her. Sure.
I know. Reminder. Reminder of it. I love when she did the SNL and she said, "Say something about the prequels."
Oh,
say something in that.
Her Natalie raps. If you guys haven't seen those old SNL Natalie raps, oh my God, both of them are fantastic.
Well, listen. I know it's very easy for me, who's done nothing, to sit here and criticize somebody's acting. I just mean like knowing what she's capable of. I felt like she just,
of course.
Well, like all of them, like besides maybe
Ewan is McGregor, the only one that comes out.
Yeah, he's the only one unscathed. That is like was a good actor before and is still like obviously Liam Neeson. Like, well, like they've all had careers after it. Like no one's really like suffered from it, but he was the only one given something to do in the movie. Right. Like Liam Neeson, like it's infamous that he signed on before he read the script for Phantom Menace.
And then when he read it, he's like, "Kill me off."
Exactly. But yeah, like Natalie Portman, especially, like they make her like this dull, lifeless queen in the first one. They make her like this badass senator in the second, and then she's like barefoot and pregnant in the third. It's like, wait, you had something going with the second one. Yeah. Out of that terrible Attack of the Clones, she was like a really good part of it, and then you're just like, oh no, now I'm just gonna have your child and die.
Yeah, well, there's reports that George Lucas like underwrote her character in the third one because there's allegations that she was bullying Keira Knightley on set for the second one. I don't know.
What? Natalie Portman was bullying Keira Knightley?
That's what apparently is said in a couple of books. I believe it's in that Chris Taylor book about Star Wars. There's a couple of reports about that. I don't know how true that is, but apparently the idea is that like she was supposed to get better per movie, but then by the time third one came around, George is like, "Oh, I don't like you," so he underwrote her. But I feel like he like,
I don't like you.
But I mean that's just. But I mean we've always known George Lucas has had kind of a problem with like writing female characters. I mean all of the best stuff about Leia.
Writing characters.
Yeah, all of the best stuff about Leia came from like Lawrence Kasdan and all of
her.
And her
writing some of her roles. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, overall though, I think Phantom Menace is not the worst. Attack of the Clones is way better. I mean, way worse. Way worse. Way worse.
I was just about to go like, wow.
She came out and apologized a few years ago, apparently.
Portman did?
It was unbecoming of me. I made several of my handmaidens cry off screen,
including
Keira Knightley, who was a timid little thing just starting out. I sincerely apologize for my behavior, but you have to understand I really only had it out for Shashek, played by Sofia Coppola. It's unfortunate that they all looked alike.
Wow. Wait, is she joking or is she being serious?
No, that's real. She
was having it out for she wanted it.
Whoa. She was like, listen, I was trying to be a cunt. I just wanted to be a cunt specifically towards this. Like, that's the strangest apology I've ever heard.
Yeah, right. I want to be a C word towards Hollywood royalty. That doesn't make any sense.
What?
I think that Lily says it's because like she was not a fan of like the nepotism that Sofia Coppola got.
Oh, interesting. What a hill to die on.
Wow, I'll tell you what. Turns out she wasn't acting in Black Swan. Woo!
Wait till Leah Michelle delivers an apology like that. Oh, anyway.
Never
happening.
Dude, I mean, she is getting destroyed.
She should be getting destroyed.
Yeah, I've heard some horrible things.
You know what else? You know who else? A lot of times when you see a character that you love get killed off a show, you can not always. Sometimes it's written in the stars that that's going to happen. But like Michael Pitt, there's a lot
Boardwalk Empire.
From Boardwalk. There's a lot. There's a lot there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it must be frustrating. People go up to you, hey, are you related to Brad Pitt? No! He must walk around with a lot of anger. You know?
I heard he was absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's also just so strange too, because it's like
I figured that
these stories aren't going to get out. If I was horrible to people at my job, do I think people aren't going to like talk about it?
Well, there has been a cone of silence for many, many years in Hollywood that you don't talk out about people because you could lose the job, no one will want to hire you, blah blah blah, and so. It's not surprising that that's been the pattern for many, many decades. I mean, since the birth of film, really, there have been a lot of actors who've been complete and utter jerks, directors too, that people are afraid to talk out about because they might not work again. But now I hope all the tea gets spilled. I hope all the laundry comes out because I want to hear everything.
It's TikTok Rocha's talking.
Once we clean everything, then we can establish a new normal, like kind of what's happening in a smaller degree, obviously, to compare to the Black Lives Matter movement. That all these protests are about establishing a new normal. We got to establish a new normal across multiple media, across multiple systems in our country, so that we can like all establish a real foundation and belief that we can be better at the things that we do.
Well, and I also have to say, this has been unpopular of me to say it in the past, but I really stand by it. I feel like along with the Me Too movement, I think women need to be held accountable for their poor behavior in Hollywood as well, because I'll tell you what,
strong statement.
The most on every set that I've ever been on, and I'm not saying that that men haven't been horrible and abused their power in Hollywood, but I'm saying that the majority of problems I've ever had on a set have been at the hands of other women. It's been the most abusive. Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like this woman, Rhoda Mitchell, like shamed me.
Rhoda
Mitchell
from Pitch Black
shamed me in front of the cast. Like called me out on like, well, you're just here because the producers, you work for the producers, right? Oh, and I was like, wow. Yeah, no, yeah.
Jesus. Did you take your earrings off? You want to go, Ozzy? You want to
go? No, I mean, I was 23 years old. I was like,
what other gossip do we have? You know, I heard Jackie Coogan wasn't treated very well.
It's such a thing, like when it gets framed, and even when it comes to like sports, where it's like, oh no, he's just competitive, like he just wants to win, and that's why he's like an asshole to all of his teammates or something like that. Or in acting, it's like, oh, he's just method. He's just going method like that. And that's why I love that Robert Pattinson quote. It's like, people only say you're going method if you're being an asshole. Like that's really all it is. Like no one's ever been method. Like, oh, he's a really nice guy. Like,
he's really into the part.
Yeah. And
fuck your mother.
That's why I live. Anytime I hear a Robert Pattinson is making news for a quote, I can't wait to read the quote because it's always so good because he doesn't give a shit. He's made his millions, his lifetime money on Twilight, and now he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Well, Smets talks. He was on Outlaw Nation, and he talked about that story. Apparently, he's told a couple other places about how he pissed off Christian Bale on Newsies. Oh my God! Have you heard this story?
Wait! Kevin Smets is in Newsies?
Yes, he is in Newsies. He's 9 or 10 years old in that film. He's 10. What is he? 10 pin or 10 takers? Whatever his weird name is in the show.
He's an actor. Oh.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
He was a child actor for numerous decades. Okay, it's got new promo material now. So anyway,
why don't you go sell some papes of it as Smets?
Kevin does a better job telling the story, but apparently, because he's new on the set, it was his first big film. Christian Bale has a scene where he flies in on the rope out of the dark. Well, Kevin kept stepping on Christian's line.
Tin pin.
A tin pin. That's it. Before Christian came in, and so after the third or fourth time, when he's swinging back in, he goes, "Motherfucker, get it right!" And he was just like so mad at him and yelled at him like crazy. And he laughs about it now. But then you see him, you hear that audio of him flipping out on that lighting guy, and you're like, this is just how he's wound. He's wound.
But that's so crazy because Christian Bale was a kid during this.
he was like 14 or 15. Yeah, but he'd already done Henry V with Kenneth Branagh. So
Swing
for
Kids
him, he
was before Newsies. Was Swing Kids before?
And Empire of the Sun.
He was in
Empire.
Oh, okay. Kevin Smith.
That movie was intense.
He's also an Annie, and
Yeah.
no, I'm just joking.
Or just listen off Christian Bale's
Yeah,
filmography.
real quick, y'all. I did a little more research. The bullying is true from Portman. Like there
wow.
are reports on it, but that quote is fake.
Okay, I was gonna
that's
say.
my fault. The quote is fake. I was like,
Way to go,
'cause I
Ben.
entered
Fake
that
news.
quote in, I
Oh,
was
no.
like, that's not real, because she wouldn't say they all look the same because of their costumes. Like,
I thought it
That's
felt
so
like a
funny.
fake quote.
yeah. So the quote is fake, but the reports of bullying are correct.
Nice.
I
Imagine
apologize
Portman-
for that. I want to
Portman
make sure
bullying you.
that no one quotes me about this quote. So the quote was not true.
Well, then I doubled down and I was like, oh, she was trying to be a.
Yeah.
Welcome to Monday, people.
People, make sure you're sending your SCHMOEBOTS, making sure you
Yes.
hate every woman in Hollywood ever. Just make
Yeah.
send those SCHMOEBOTs.
Send in
See,
SCHMOEBOTS with
I
false
knew these
rumors.
libs were trouble.
Sorry, guys.
coming up later today.
I stand by my assessment if that quote had been true. But knowing the quote isn't true, I retract my
And that's the thing
statements.
is, I could see like Natalie Portman does have like that dry sense of humor.
Right.
So
Oh,
even
yeah,
if
yeah.
she was apologizing, she would throw that jab in
Of
there every
course.
once in a while.
That's
so.
it. Sounded like a funny shot. Well, fresh off their first loss, the Den is not doing well with fake news here today. So let's see how they recover after this.
We're
one.
doing great with fake news. I'll say that. We're doing amazing with fake news.
We're batting 100 with fake news.
Yes.
Keira Knightley's quote. Caw. All right, what do we got?
In other news, the Den is auditioning for Fox News anchors to make sure that
They need 2 new white anchors. We
Have
found
you,
them. Our
have
half
you
white.
seen Kate? She would.
Oh,
fit
yeah.
in
Kate would fit in.
so perfectly in
But
Fox
did
News.
you guys hear? I mean, I heard Tom Hanks
Need more plastic
was
surgery.
You're white and
absolute
blonde, Kate.
shithead to Wilson on
Tom
set.
Hanks.
He was. Oh, I mean, no. Did you see that? Look that one up.
Founder of Wendy's donated $20.
Oh, I love these.
Women are looking for a strong female role model to act as a better example than Natalie Portman. Look no further than my daughter and company namesake. She's up there with Bryce Dallas Howard for famous red-headed daughters.
It's true.
Wendy's. Yeah, there you
Wendy,
go.
definitely Wendy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I want
Dave's
Wendy's
double.
right now.
Anyway, what's our next news item for it? Or do we have to do one more ad? Do we have another
I
ad?
have to leave. I have to go watch Newsies now. I'm so sorry. I can't. I'm like very.
It'll be there when you're done with the
I'm
show.
but I need to see. I can't believe like Kevin's. What's he doing hanging out with us?
Well, because he
Yeah.
clearly
He's
didn't do
he's
enough
a
roles.
professional
So.
editor now, so he's still
Yeah.
in the business.
I
Like,
mean, I know, but God Almighty, that is like.
I always feel weird whenever like I see Rachel or talk to Rachel, knowing she's like literally an Emmy nominated like editor. Like I'm like,
Like
Jesus.
Ethan Irwin is like Jerry Bruckheimer, basically. Like he's,
Yeah.
he's huge.
Yeah, he's going to be really distracted. He won't be able to study. Let's hope
Right.
Oh,
effing
but
hope
how
so.
about? I always get nervous because Brett Sheridan is a really good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I did.
That
I was
so
the guy
unnecessary.
standing. I was the guy standing behind like the lead guys in a bunch of commercials, not saying lines, but going.
so. Yeah.
I always had the inferior mower in the commercials. I was
That's
the
fair. That's
the
fair.
put
Hey,
upon.
speaking of Black
Also-
Swan, I
Yeah.
served Mila Kunis one day, so you know what? That's about me.
You guys also, are you nervous around porn star number 3 from Crank 2?
Hey.
Anybody really nervous about that?
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Do we have another ad to do before we
No,
No.
we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to our next news item
Here's
before we
here's-
fall off
here.
the cliff here.
Here's an ad for the den.
Damon Lindelof
Oh, yeah.
says if anybody wants to do Watchmen, they're more than welcome to, but he will not be returning.
Wow.
Quote, the legacy of Watchmen is Alan Moore and David Gibbons created it, and it sat for 30 years. Obviously, Zack Snyder made his movie, which was pretty canonical adaptation of the 12 issues, and then we made our season of television. That was my turn. I got it in the middle of the dance floor for a minute and got to do my move, but then you retreat to the edge of the circle, and it's someone else's turn to dance, end quote.
Ooh,
I
love that.
love this.
I love that.
I love that quote. I love how Damon Lindelof has handled it, saying, I'm not like, well, there's not going to be a season 1 or season 2. And then after its success, there might be a season 2, but someone else can do it because I've told my story. So
Yeah.
how do you guys feel? Would you guys want a season 2 if Damon Lindelof is not going to be there?
I think it. Yeah, go ahead, RB.
Go ahead, Rocha.
no.
Go ahead.
I was saying it depends on the showrunner, to be honest with you. I mean, because this was such an incredible season and currently prescient. Like, it's incredibly prescient for what we're experiencing now with Black Lives Matter and all that's happening out there in the world, and how the protests are happening across the world, by the way, across the world. People seem to forget to notice that in the UK, before every match of the new Premier League, now the Premier League's come back, all the players take one knee before the match starts in honor of the movement. You see this all happening, and so you watch Watchmen almost like you can go back and watch Watchmen and go, oh wow, this is all the stuff that they were trying to bring up for people to think about. And maybe in some small way, maybe Watchmen kind of began the seismic shift to influence a little bit of what we're seeing now as well, because it kind of really put a spotlight on these black issues and how we've been treating our black brothers and sisters for decades in this country. So now you look at this situation now, you go, well, what would you do to season 2? I need to see a really good showrunner first and understand where they're going to go. There are female issues to explore, which would be prescient now after a Me Too, or not prescient, but would be topical after Me Too. What can you explore for numerous decades? There's other communities, Latino communities, Asian communities. Are there other things you can explore that will tie into the political landscape as well? I would be excited to see it, but it'd have to be one damn good showrunner who's got a track record that you can look on and be excited about. So that's how I would get excited about season 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I definitely feel you on that. Watchmen obviously is one of my favorite things, and I've talked about it extensively on SCN and everywhere.
Destiny needs that book.
Oh, she does. She definitely does. Yeah, it's in my room too. I make sure I get it to her. But yeah, that's one of my. Watchmen is amazing, and I think part of the novelty of the original comic book and of the show is that it's kind of a self-contained story that doesn't like drag itself out. I do think there is more story to tell, frankly, and even at the end of this iteration of Watchmen, even though I was like fully satisfied, like, and it felt like a nutritious, like full TV show, I still felt like there was still room for, maybe another episode, or maybe just for just a little bit more. I still think there's a little room for everything, but at the end of the day, I'm totally cool if they do it again. I hope they get some of the many amazing talents that were behind the writing of it. I know when the writer, and I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but Damien Lindelof specifically shout out the writer of episode 6 of Watchmen, who, if you watched episode 6 of Watchmen, is very black and white, kind of jazz influenced, and has a very specific style. They kind of mentioned, Damien Lindelof mentioned in his podcast about like them being a key voice and making Watchmen work. Maybe they take over the mantle. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But at the end of the day, I will personally just be cool of never seeing any more again. I thought the story was amazing. I love Regina King. I loved every single spin that they had on the mythology of Watchmen. I just don't really want to mess with it anymore, honestly.
I'm kind of in that same camp. Like, if they have, I'd like to see an anthology. Like, but it's like a little bit of both, because like I feel like an anthology would work with like a different group of superheroes, like street level superheroes. But then it wouldn't be Watchmen without Dr. Manhattan and Silk Spectre and Regina King's character and stuff like that. But like what Damon Lindelof did with this season was just like opening with the Tulsa Massacre. Like that's how you open a show, like to grab someone's attention and talk about a piece of history that we're not taught in schools, and most people have forgotten, like that even we're taught about it. And so just what he did with this show was just amazing. So I'm okay with one season, maybe like what HBO has done before, where like what they just did with Deadwood, like a movie after the season to finish it. Maybe like a movie. If Damon Lindelof would come back for like a 2-hour Watchmen movie wrapping up that storyline completely, then I'd be okay with it. But I don't need another full season.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but you saying that it's nice, concise, one season show, that's great for me, because sometimes I don't want to get into something that's 7 seasons long. So I definitely would like to check it out even more now that I know that you guys, it's short and gets it done in such a short amount of time.
And honestly, a lot of people always say, oh, this was ahead of its time. This was ahead of its time. I do think Watchmen was literally just like a couple months ahead of its time. Like, I think if it would have came out and like now in July or June instead of last October, like it is so prevalent to everything exactly what's happening now. So it's crazy.
I'm actually curious how this time is going to affect content going forward, because I wonder if I feel like there's two directions. One is that content can directly address what we're living through, and the other is that content can get way more shallow and just like be an escape. Because like when you think about the reason why those musicals that Brett is going to sing a bunch of things from us, it was called like I remember learning about this in school. It was like during World War II, they were called like the escapist musicals, and it was just like these very flowery, silly things, and like and it was just like a nice break for people. And I think like I don't know, I know that I am like very much in this time, like tensions are high, and I'm trying to figure out what are the things I can contribute, and how do I keep my family safe, and what accountability do I need to take? And it's so much work. It's just so much constantly. Like if you look at any of my social media, I haven't posted in forever anything like any of my comedy content, because I'm sort of like, I actually don't know how to navigate what's appropriate during this time. Like, I don't know that I should be out here posting funny videos, but maybe I should. Like, so for me, I'm actually going to be very curious to see like how content creators go forward from this. Like, are we going to get sillier shows? Are we going to get like things that like that don't address this at all because we're so deeply living in it that people want a break from it? Or are we going to see people double down and be like, let's explore this more in a fantasy way or whatever?
I think like anything else, we'll get a combo of both, Kate, to be honest with you, because we need the serious stuff. Helps us explore what's going on in our world and heal some people too. But the comedy helps us balance it out, and helps us like kind of laugh and remember like not everything is a dark cloud. Like there can be silver linings. You just got to see if someone can present, and you might need a break. I've seen a lot of people step away from social media over the last few weeks who say like, I just need a break. Like Jason Inman, who I never thought would step away, and he has multiple things to promote. He tweeted out that he was stepping away from social media. So, like, some people, it's just too much. So they need that escapist fare. I mean, the reason I sat for 9 hours and watched the superhero stuff and Star Wars stuff, no matter what the result was, it was just to escape for a little while from hearing about everything. So the balance has always been, in the toughest of times, has always been what keeps us going as human beings, I think. So I think we'll see both, but what they're looking for is authenticity. I think people look for authenticity more than anything else. So if you're authentic with what you're posting, Kate, I think people will gravitate to that because that's your voice. Funny at times, but also serious about certain issues, and comical and playful, but also, into some certain things. And I think that's what people are looking for more than anything else. I'm still trying to figure that balance out, because I'm like, people are being murdered. Well, how do I?
Well, it's funny because I think that like John said, it's going to be both. Like, I think back to the weekend in 1989, right? The same weekend that the Tim Burton's Batman came out, Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing came out.
Exactly.
So like there's always going to be two sides to the coin no matter what. And I think a lot of cinema now is leaning very heavily towards the escapism side. So I think we might lean a little more towards the more serious side for a little bit. But I think there's always going to be a balance.
Yeah, and I think so. And like in that example, Batman was the serious thing, right?
Yes. Exactly.
The white billionaire beating people to death instead of helping with his money is much more prescient nowadays.
Yes,
and we'll do the right thing.
Yeah. He was actually doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh! Brett Sheridan, ladies and gentlemen. Brett Sheridan.
Like going on that point is like, I don't want, if they bring back Watchmen in another series, I don't want it to feel forced. Like, this felt so natural, and I'm glad, like, I get what you're saying, RB3, like, having it come out now, like, I'd be down for an HBO to promote it again. Like, go watch Watchmen. We're going to be doing a full, marathon of it on HBO. Like, this is what you need to watch. I'm all for that. But I feel like now, like, with Hollywood execs being like, oh, we're tweeting out and we're doing this and we're changing our logo, but we're just doing all these surface level things. I feel like if Watchmen came out now, it'd be very surface level. Like, it'd be just like not in your face, because that opening scene's very in your face, but it's like, it's not on the nose where and there wasn't like any white saviors in the movie or anything like that. There was no like Kevin Costner in Hidden Figures, like knocking down the colored girl's bathroom signs. Like, that's not necessary, and it didn't happen.
Right, it never happened.
And so I want it, if Damon Lindelof comes back and does a movie, or if they find the right script.
Max_1,000,000 donated $20. My Schmoedown Hamilton casting. Rocha as Hamilton, Guy as Aaron Burr, Winston as Lafayette / Jefferson, J as Mulligan / Madison, Ellis as King George, Ace as Lawrence, Airbay 3 as Washington, Clark as Angelica, Roxy as Eliza, Goddard as Charles Lee.
Hey, I could be Washington. I like
And what am I,
Cool.
craft services? Or?
Yeah, you and I are craft services.
Wow,
You and I are just. I guess I'm Peggy.
No, Brett, you're the bullet. You're the bullet for sure. Part like it's not a joke. That's actually like a part in the show.
I was looking. Yeah, go ahead.
Kate, watch it again. Someone plays the bullet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, towards the end.
Someone plays it. I'm looking at So when Do the Right Thing came out, you had Ghostbusters 2, Batman, and Great Balls of Fire. Those were the things there. And Dead Poets Society was the week or 2 weeks before.
Okay.
The terrible Star Trek 5 came out as well.
Dare you, sir?
It's such a horrible goddamn movie. But yeah, you had these interesting films that came out around the same time, and then in July we get into Weekend at Bernie's. So you have the balance. People need that balance.
Ooh, talk about social issues. Carrying your dead friend around so you can go on vacation.
I mean, deadism is not a something to be trifled with or messed around with. Deadism is a serious issue in the world.
You couldn't do that in today's climate.
Manos de Piedra, Richard.
Dead
Manos de
Brenner.
Piedra. Yeah, that's one of my favorite films. I love Weekend at Bernie's. All right. Well, I don't know if we have a topic for this second hour, but
guys, let's
send in the topic.
one thing. We've got 900 people watching, only 260 likes. Make sure you guys are liking the video. It helps so much.
Yeah.
And also, we still don't have a topic for the second hour of the show, so we're gonna do a few more of these lighter. Not lighter, because we have to talk about Ennio Morricone passing away.
Yeah, sure.
So I do want to touch on that before we get into a topic. So what's your guys' favorite Morricone score? Ooh.
Score.
Ooh.
Waking up today.
Hold on. What were you gonna say, RB3, before we jumped into that?
Oh no, I was just gonna say maybe our topic today should be people sending in their favorite Morricone or Ennio Morricone music, or maybe just talking about favorite composers. I don't know, maybe something on that line.
Yeah, favorite composers. Let's do favorite composers.
Well, didn't we do that one already? Didn't we do one a couple of weeks ago? Favorite scores?
I don't know.
Did we?
I don't know.
I thought we did. Well, it's open for debate. Send in your topics. That's what
favorite
we'll consider.
movie score. It doesn't have to be favorite composers.
Right.
Talk about
movie
your movie score and what you like about it, like a specific movie.
Yeah. I think for me, it's with Morricone, it's tied between obviously The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because of The Outlaw, and all the Sergio Leone stuff because of The Outlaw stuff. But also, I love his score for The Mission. I rarely buy scores. I'm just not one of those people. Don't you take that and run with it, Ethan. I'm just not one of those people. But that score for The Mission, the first time I heard it was just like moving and emotional. Before I even saw the movie, because a friend of mine had let me borrow it. And I just cried through that score. There's just something about that score.
You love an oboe.
I do love an oboe. And of course the Untouchables one is just the great beats through the evil parts of or the villain parts of Untouchables is great. But the sweeping heroic music for the Untouchables when it's Costner and the crew is a great juxtaposition to that. So incredible scores all around for him, man.
Can I actually revise the topic? Can I say a score that you would want played either at your wedding or your funeral?
Just to lighten
good?
up.
All right.
Yeah.
Make that an
Good.
option.
Like what's
let's-
something that like moves you? Yeah, just put that in as an option. You could just say
Yeah.
your favorites.
I wanted to go with favorite movies that guys don't let their dead boss ruin their vacation, but you can stick with this one.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, guys, we're gonna, like score whatever you guys want to do with the score. We'll stick with scores and soundtracks today. Make sure you guys are sending them in. We're a little low today. I know it's Monday, but if you guys want to keep the show going, keep the crew coming back. We gotta get these in.
I
Gotta get them paychecks signed.
I actually had a dream last night that Christian fired me. And I feel like maybe this is coming true.
Check your text. You might have slut text him back because I've definitely done that before.
So yeah, send in those Streamlabs. Send in the super chat. The SCHMOEBOTS on. The SCHMOEBOTS on.
Yeah.
So your favorite scores, favorite soundtracks, whatever you want to send in, that'd be a fun conversation to have. So come on, send them in. Get us into a good position by the time the show is over in about 52 minutes. So help us out.
Yep.
You guys love having us on. You're enjoying it. You got to support the show. That's kind of part of how it goes. All right.
And then
what's
mine's The Thing. I know
The
that
Thing.
him and John Carpenter worked on that together. and some of the music that he didn't use in The Thing, he used for Hateful Eight.
Yep.
The Tarantino movie, which I think I'm like the only one that likes Hateful Eight.
Yeah, no, I love Hateful Eight.
But yeah, The Thing is my favorite horror movie, my favorite John Carpenter movie, and one of my favorite scores. And what I love
about your
about
funeral, you want it played at your funeral? Got it.
That's actually my wedding. Like I want her walking up, dum dum, dum dum. Oh! And then I want Kurt Russell to show up fully bearded with a flare, like shivering. She's not human. We gotta burn her.
We gotta test her. You gotta test her.
Yeah, well, I just hopping into one of my favorite scores of all time, and coming from Ennio Morricone. This is one I actually watched in film school, and it's called the Battle of Algiers.
Oh yeah,
it's like this, older I think it came out in 1962, and it's very iconic. I mean, they use it in Inglourious Bastards as well, when they're breaking out. The character out of jail, I forget the exact character's name, but yeah, that's one of my favorite scores ever. It's so suspenseful, such a great movie overall. If you want to see a classic piece of cinema that's actually really most people who are like
High Priestess Mike Pence donated $20. Honestly, I hope we lose the election. Donald smells like expired tapioca pudding and we can't wear masks around him.
Jeez Louise.
Yikes.
I love it.
We're not allowed to comment on that, but just take my laughter and run.
Go ahead, Arby.
Thank you, Mikey.
There's a lot of great people on both sides.
No, there's not.
But yeah, no. If you want to check out the Battle of Algiers, it's one of the best like kind of action movies ever. So
there's a great Criterion collection of that. If you guys want to pick it up and get like in depth in that movie.
Can I ask you, John, what makes Criterion collection so good and so damn expensive?
Well, it's funny you ask that, Ben Goddard. I do a show for my
patrons.
We
only have 50 minutes left, John.
I do a show called the Criterion Corner every month now for the patrons because people have asked the same question. They're like, what makes a film a Criterion film? So I watch all the special features and watch the film and the commentary to tell them why. And the thing is, Criterion is very, very exclusive about the films. At least Blu-ray wise, they've become more exclusive about the films that they slap that on. And it's basically considered a classic film, could be from any country, a classic film that somehow advanced the medium of film in some way, explored a new approach to the medium of film in some way. Certainly most of Kurosawa's classic films are all done in Criterion. Battle of Algiers, a lot of French films, Russian films, Japanese films, Chinese films, German films that get the Criterion Collection label slapped on them. And it's about getting people to understand that world cinema is as important as American cinema, and there's things to explore here. So essentially, it's a brand that says, this is a film, if you're a cinephile, this is a film that you need to watch or you need to explore to expand your point of view or your approach to movies. And so a lot of them now, DVD-wise, Armageddon made the list, and so did The Rock. So I focus on the Blu-ray ones. And they've done, like, Hard Day's Night was turned into a Criterion Collection because of the fact that is such a seminal rock and roll movie that has rarely been done or copied since. And so you'll find some great, it isn't all just stuffy classic films. There are some interesting, funny choices. Some great horror films make the cut as well. So it's just like, go through it. And if you watch the Criterion Collection stuff and the channels up there, your knowledge of film will increase exponentially. So that's my answer.
The check is in the mail.
Oh, yeah, right.
Wish. Go to the bathroom, and then we're going to get to those Streamlabs, guys.
Great.
So make sure you guys send them in. Favorite scores, movies, all that good stuff. Yeah,
awesome. Man,
follow-up question, Rocha. Yeah. What is the Academy, and how does someone get into it? Yeah.
Well, it's easier for you now as a woman to get into it. That's for damn sure. They're trying to increase the odds of people of color and women coming in to balance out the Academy.
All right. Well, I hope they take a look at my performance as sorority girl and gamer to know.
I think you have to be part of a union. So if you're still SAG,
I am still
there
SAG.
You go. I think you can apply.
Okay, you should see about being an agent or a manager, because apparently that's their way of increasing diversity too.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
You weren't on that show. Yeah, that was.
If you became a manager, I think it increases your chances even more. So
they're going to let agents and managers vote, And but their explanation was that to increase women and people of color in the voting process.
To be fair, just a counterpoint, the man that sexually assaulted me was an agent. So just want to say counterpoint. Not all men in Hollywood are good. Okay.
Oh, true. Fair point.
Wait, it's time for my sound effect.
Tongue punch, the fart box says. Anyway,
all right. First up, House Heisenberg. This is bizarre because I hadn't watched a movie in about 3 weeks until last night when I had to watch the Battle of Algiers for this class. I'm taking brutal film, but I liked it and the score was great. R.I.P. to the legend Ennio Morricone.
How funny is that? Yeah.
What timing?
Wow. B. Arthur can get it. Shout out to whoever in the SEN community recommended Dark. What a freaking great show. Already halfway through season 2 and it is wild in the best way. Also, shout out to whoever recommended Eurovision. I say nay, nay, sir. Nay, nay.
I got to tell you, I finally watched it.
And?
Fantastic fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and actually, like, very sweet, but fun.
So you didn't hate Rachel McAdams, so you still want to make sure?
No.
Okay.
No,
How could you?
Honestly, I would be. She's one of those people. If I found out she was rude on set, I'd be like, "There's no way."
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
There's no way. Yeah.
There's no
I don't
way.
like.
She's
no
Canadian.
way.
Did Ben Goddard read you that quote? Because I don't believe you. 156 Impulse. Hey guys, big fan. I love the musical Hamilton. Has a lot of history in it. I love U.S. history and was watching Hamilton. I learned a lot. And living in New Jersey now has more meaning. By the way, I watched it with subtitles. Hashtag immigrants get the job done.
Yes.
That's right.
How historically is Hamilton pretty historically accurate?
So it's based on Ron Chernow's book.
Yes.
But there are certain things like a lot of it is not. I mean, like any of the things that where you could think about historical.
Any of the raps? None of the raps happened?
None of the raps. Any part where they rap. No, the Angelica
There were no
stuff,
rap battles in Congress. Yes,
the Angelica Eliza stuff, like was there like a love triangle? Not true. They were just, he sort of like created that based off like some real loose letters and stuff, but no, like like that whole "my dear Angelica," like with the apostrophe, like all of that is sort of exposition, just to it's a great storyline. But yeah, I think a lot of was Thomas Jefferson in France during the time that Thomas Jefferson was in France when they said he was in France, and but yeah, there is some stuff.
I saw a quote from Lin-Manuel Miranda that said that they tried to stick to historical accuracy as much as possible, and they just tried to dramatize it, and you could tell they kind of just summarized a lot of points in like one song, for example. You could tell they went through like a whole laundry list of facts in one song, and then they give you the story that kind of is that scene. So I can see where there might be discrepancies only because there's so much in the show. There's a big conversation that's happening now about whether or not Hamilton should be even a figure that's praised, because even though he was vehemently anti-racist, there's still debate or discussion of whether or not he actually owned slaves or not, or
his family owned slaves.
Yeah,
there were family members who owned slaves
in the Caribbean.
Right, because he is the son of immigrants. He is, he was an orphan. There are some like him and Aaron Burr did circle around each other. They did have political issues with each other. He did write scathing stuff about Aaron Burr and about John Adams, which is a kind of one moment in the film. They did start a law practice in the same year. Yeah. So a lot of
he did have an affair too.
He did have absolutely an affair.
Jim Mason donated $20.
Jim!
At our wedding, my wife planned with our DJ that our entrance to the reception be the main theme to Shaka. But weddings being weddings, the DJ screwed it up, instead playing Slave to Love. Oh. Yeah, that was awesome, and by awesome I mean not. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Jim.
Brian Ferry song? Oh. But that's not, no. Slave to Love. But amazing. The what Kate is referencing is there were letters exchanged between Angelica and Alexander that were preserved. And you could read possible flirtations into it, but you have to kind of do your own feeling about it, read it, and have your own ideas about it.
For sure.
But the Schuyler sisters weren't like what she sings about having to marry rich. She didn't have to necessarily. There were brothers. There were a bunch of brothers, and Lynn says he conveniently forgot that when he was writing the thing. But he always checked in with Chernow to tell him the licenses he was taking with some of the dramatization in the play. And the duel happens 4 years after the election. It isn't right after the election. It's 4 years later. So they had some issues because Hamilton said some pretty harsh things about it. But there's
about the
people,
play.
There's people defending Aaron Burr too, who are coming out saying that Burr was actually one of the most progressive politicians at the time, and the reason he was jumping from one issue to the next change because he was evolving quickly his point of view about these subjects, including slavery. So
I mean, even
stuff.
Even in this play, Hamilton seemed like just kind of a dick to Aaron Burr for no reason.
Yeah.
Eddie 314. Watching Hamilton the first time made me tear up after every song. The diversity of the cast is America at its best and gave me hope. Also, someone telling me that the amazing Jonathan Groff as King George was also the lead in Mindhunter blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Jonathan Groff in Mindhunter?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that dude's talented.
I've seen Mindhunter.
Nah, it's funny because he is kind of doing the same like still face like ba da 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 da. I love it.
Marvel 56. Hi, I was at my best friend's place on Saturday, and when the night was over, I was planning on staying to talk to his fam, but he got mad and told me to go the fuck home. I don't know what happened. He told me he wants to be alone. I don't know what to do. Any advice?
If it came up
Brett?
out of the blue,
Yeah.
then he's clearly got an internal monologue that he's going through and put you into it. If you really did nothing, then it's his own thing to work out. Just be patient and let him work it out. And if he comes back, he comes back.
I would also say, I feel like the jump-off question is, was there drinking involved? Because
fair.
I feel like I also, a lot of times, don't realize, like, I've definitely had fights when there's been drinking because I'm not as aware of my behavior or that, you know what I mean? Things feel heightened.
Divishka Productions donated $20. Hans Down the Zimmerman himself is my favorite.
Hans Down.
Lion King at my wedding and Black Hawk Down at my funeral.
Yes!
$20 to keep the crew together.
Dang, that's
Thank
good.
Thank you, Tibishka.
So much. Appreciate that, Tibishka.
That Black Hawk Down at his funeral.
It was Black Hawk Down out there on 4th of July. Holy crap, dude.
Oh my God, that video. Wow, I retweeted it because I was like, "This looks like Blade Runner. This is mind blowing."
Like just the sounds, like it was nuts.
I don't envy you guys. We were out of town. We didn't hear a damn thing when we were.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Matt Chapman. While Lin-Manuel Miranda is the weakest performance, I'm glad it was him. I think it gave a personal feeling. The guy who played Hamilton when they came to Tulsa didn't work for me. He overpronounced his R's, which bugged me. That is some criticism right there.
Hey, it's constructive criticism. And
Yes.
accept that.
Jefferson. What?
Turex donated $20. Kate being from Chicago, I always thought your Chicago accent was way off. Then one day I am walking down the street and some lady talking to this guy sounded just like you. What the fuck? Guess there are a load of parts of Chicago.
Yeah.
Love you all.
I should say my accent's really South Side suburbs is where we're from. So, which is that real? Yeah. Like my mom grew up in Hickory Hills, right? So she'll always be like, like right now she'd be like, your bra strap showing, your bra. I'd be like, oh.
Jeez. Matt Chapman. Ben, go listen to the Hamilton soundtrack 10 times and come back to it. See how you feel. # get on our level.
Oh, yikes.
No.
Okay.
That's not how don't intimidate someone into liking your musical. What this is
And also, if you have to tell someone to listen to it 10 times for you to
That's
like
true,
it, you're not going to like it.
Get on our level, Ben.
If you watch the show, the first 3.5 seasons are bad, but that 3rd season finale really ties everything together.
You get through the first 2 seasons.
Pac-Man Wayne donated $20. Hey guys, hope y'all had a great weekend. My funeral song will be Boys II Men End of the Road for my wedding. How about She's Your Queen to Be from Coming to America? Can we get a 3 white guy talking about why the 4 is so important to him?
Yeah, indignant white man.
Why the 4 is so important?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Caro donated $20. One of the best scores and to play at a wedding is the love theme from Cinema Paradiso from Ennio Morricone. Prep your tissues so you can cry to the music. Rest in peace, Maestro.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, that's what he was called. El
That
Maestro.
was
It's-
oh my god.
or the
He
Maestro,
was
rather.
oh my god. So he was cinema Paradiso.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's my number one.
Pac-Man
Then.
Wayne donated $20.
God.
Hey guys, hope y'all had a great weekend.
wow,
And my
twice.
funeral song will be Boys to Men, End of the Road for my wedding. How about She's Your
Nice.
Queen to be from Coming to America? Can we get Airbay 3 white guy talking about why the 4 is so important to him?
Yeah.
Wait,
please.
did you replay that or?
Nah, I think
Oh.
it just got sent in twice. Yeah.
So,
Sorry,
white guy, give us
Really
the
wants
conversation there, white guy.
RB3.
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 Why the 4 is so important?
Yeah, the
So-
4th. Yeah.
Oh, the 4th.
Fourth.
Oh, 4th of July. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I was like Googling, like, what's the 4 coming to America?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, really, it's about that time of year that we start to celebrate American history. And,
Wait, why are you celebrating American history, man? With all the stuff that's going out in the street, the protests, why?
I mean, it's just America's it's America. I mean, you go back 1776. I mean, you see what they're doing on Hamilton. Incredible, absolutely amazing. I mean, how can we watch Hamilton and not fight? Have you seen the fireworks
Wait.
show? Absolutely incredible. out
Indignant
there.
white guy, you like Hamilton?
Yeah, I think they could have did a little more with little less diversity, but I think personally they just they did a really good job making the history known to the Disney Corporation. It's really amazing, honestly.
You know what I realized? Do you guys remember Pat from SNL?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Would never play now, I'm sure. But
no.
but Pat used to always do this, and that's what it makes it. It's Pat. It's a who. It's a what. What's that? Anyway,
King George probably his favorite character in the thing. All right, well, guys. I mean, for God's sake, send in Streamlabs to the indignant white guy talking about more
Yes.
things. Get us over there.
less diversity.
I love how he does the
Yes,
white guy
diversity.
look around.
The look
you know,
around.
a little less.
Also, no
Surprised
one,
indignant white guy hasn't bragged about how many black friends he has.
I'm very familiar with
no
the
one.
hip-hop, genre.
no one takes Brett out the way indignant white man
The
does.
hippity hop.
I'm very jealous. I want to make Brett laugh this much.
Mr. Anus, damn, Schmobot didn't get caca. # shame. I'm excited to see if because right now it's just caca.
Yeah.
But she did say maestro. I'm surprised she got that one
Yeah.
right.
Respect.
Eat booty like groceries. Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, has anyone listened to David Diggs' experimental hip hop band Clipping? Very noisy and in your face, certainly not for everyone, but David displays incredible rapping prowess. Check out the songs Body and Blood and Work Work. Hi, Brett.
Hello.
I saw him. He did like a cipher once, like a freestyle cipher thing. It was awesome. It was like him and that guy that's in Blind Spotting with them. Yeah. That was he's. I mean, he's a Bay Area rapper. Like that's like what that's like how man. I don't know if that's how, but that's what he started out as. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like watching Hamilton, after that I immediately YouTubed the last scene from Blind Spotting because that was just so good. Hitman. Go ahead.
Kevin
What's up?
Smith was in that one too. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Stop. Oh.
He's selling papes in the Bay Area. Pence and papes, sir.
San Francisco instead of Santa Fe.
Hitman Hudson. If Brett wins the singles belt, will he get a second wife?
Oh wow.
100%. Even
When did that
without the belt.
Oh, shoot.
Brent,
Working
when
on
did
that
become
move
a
to
thing?
Utah right now.
Is polygamy still legal in Utah?
I thought so, but
Yeah.
Wow.
that was-
Unbelievable.
Mormons,
You know what?
right?
that is not. I am from you. I'm gonna get some.
I actually don't think it's. I think the Mormon Church does not condone it anymore.
Oh.
If I remember correctly.
I don't even
Well.
think they're called Mormons anymore.
Oh, sorry, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
There you I didn't know the name of it.
Mormons is quicker, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. All right. Anyway. Go ahead.
I'll have
Mormons
some
is
fun
quicker.
tweets today, though. I'm
No
sure.
offense.
Tell you what, after me calling Natalie Portman a C,
Love it if she watches the show like quietly, like she's never chimed in. She's eating her Cheerios on her bed.
Of coffee,
and she goes,
like, ooh,
the fuck.
Let's. I'm a big Schmoedown fan. Like, it's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, do you remember
fuck
Kaka?
is this?
He's on. He's on. What the fuck?
And even if she was laughing at the fake quote, Kate just comes in and just gives the people's elbow with the C word.
You find that bitch.
Hitman Hudson. Which of these three film performance is the best? Kevin Bacon in Apollo 13, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire, or Noah Emmerich in The Truman Show?
Ooh.
I'd have to give it to Cuba.
I would too. He's
I would
got
too.
an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
Oscar.
There's
And
more.
then his career was never the same after.
No. Snow Dogs. Snow Dogs.
Please, boat trip.
Oh, gosh.
That boat trip was the sinker. That was,
Yeah.
no pun intended.
Nice one, John. That was subtle.
Thank you.
I personally prefer the People versus O.J. Simpson. I'm kidding.
Marvel 17. For someone who never saw a Marvel movie, where the hell do you start? Do you start with Iron Man and move forward like we did, or start with Captain America and watch it in a timeliner? This is
question.
hell. This is not like Star Wars. Love you guys.
That's a great question. I am somebody who's not into Marvel. What is the order I should watch this in?
Certainly Iron Man. You have to start with Iron Man.
I'd say by release date.
Still good.
I do say by, because I know Hector Navarro is real big on this. Like, he's done the chronological rewatches and says it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work for.
You know what? He's not the end all be all of everything.
I'm not saying he's the end all. I'm saying
there are other Latino critics and pundits that are out there. You know, just because we're not on 75 other shows, we make our own shows.
You're right. You're on 130, John.
But I have to make them. They don't come to me and put me on. Anyway, go ahead. Yes. What did Hector say again?
Wow. Just tearing down his own people.
I was going to say that's some Latino on Latino on Latino violence because he came after Ben.
I love Hector. I love Hector.
I'm just saying someone that has done it doesn't recommend it.
Got it.
RB3's out.
I'm not going to do indignant Latino guy. Well, you know. Hector doesn't know everything. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
But I recommend a release date. Same with Star Wars. I recommend a release date because, yeah. So, thanks, John. Fucking dick.
I love Hector. He knows it. I bust his balls all the time. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
Matt Chapman. Kate, I think you were too hard on yourself regarding the match on Friday. You asked Ben to consider the other slices on the wheel, and he decided to pick Star Wars. I think you should always ask your player to consider the rest of the wheel. Hi, Brett.
Hey,
yeah. I don't see you did anything wrong.
No.
Well,
And I
feel like the wheel, I just have a block when it comes to the wheel ever since my first early mistake. But I just feel like I need to do better listening. Like Ben knows what he needs to do, and
I made the right decision. Like, I mean, I wasn't the right decision because I got bad questions, but I was playing along to Paul and Chance's match the Friday before, and I went 4 out of 5 on those Star Wars questions. So, like Star Wars, and I do okay. You know, not the deep cuts in these Star Wars Twitch matches. No. But I keep up in round 1 and part of round 2. So I'm not mad about the decision at all, and it was definitely my decision. And especially with Robert spinning away from it, then you know.
Well, that's the thing is I was like, let's use the information we have. He spun away from it. That means that maybe he's not going to be able to pick up any that we don't, like, because that's the other thing about the wheel round is you have to think like even if you got something that's a strength of yours or you think that you're okay at, if it's the other person's definite strength, you might want to consider spinning away from it just because when it comes to stealing the questions, right? So
I always go with this. If the person hesitates and then spins away from it, that means they're just not confident in it, but they do know it. But if the person immediately goes, oh, no, then that's a smart move to jump into it. But I don't think you did anything wrong because at the end of the day, as Ben just said, because Ben's a strong player now, you have to say this.
I know.
Ultimately, the decision lies on the player's shoulders. It is not on the manager's shoulder. Look, Tom, every single time Tom comes in, he's like, look at everything else on the wheel. What do you is there anything you feel nervous about strongly? So he's just giving you things to consider, just like you did. And at the end of the day, though, I make my decisions. I'm responsible for my decisions just as Ben is. So it's not the manager.
Yeah, but it's so hard if the manager says, like, I think we do that to then go against what they're saying.
And this thing, people are coming down hard on you about this one, but they didn't say anything about you convincing me to give Jim David a Harry Potter. Yeah. Like, because I was debating between two things, Middle Earth or Harry Potter to give Veda. Right. I got 3 points off steals and got the TKO, and no one's giving you credit for that.
Well, thank
you. They only come after you when they think you've made a mistake. They rarely give you credit for
I think I made a mistake on that.
Michael Red Dingus. Hey guys, I have my first Fan League Star Wars trivia match today. Any suggestions, encouragement for me? Rocha, I'll have game tape now for our coaching session. Wish me luck. Rocha, pump him up.
I'm going to wish you luck if you're coming into the coaching session. Watch Armageddon. When that pilot says, I'm going to twist you, flip you, turn you upside down, and you're throwing up, that's what the coaching session's going to be. So I want you to study hard, get it all inside of you. What we're going to work on is not trivia knowledge necessarily. It's going to be gameplay and what you need to do mentally in situations. So definitely go and kick some ass in that thing. I would say be calm. Be collected. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Don't celebrate after every round. Just swing on through. Have confidence that you're going to win it and confidence that the game will turn in your favor because you don't want to get thrown off when it does and you're not prepared for it. So that's the thing. Always expect that you'll do well, and when the bad times come, just ride them out with the confidence that you're going to do well. That's the advice I'd give you.
Al Pacino, Any Given Sunday, Kurt Russell, and Miracle. Those two speeches you watch right before, and you are ready to go.
Motivation.
We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Yeah.
They might beat us 9 times, but not today. I am so sick and tired of hearing about the Russians.
That's right.
D-Train, 1 of 2. So let me find the other one. There it is. I prefer the prequels over the sequels mainly because they have better villains. The best villains are the ones people hate. Order 66 was a great example of that because it made you hate Palpatine, Anakin, and the clone troopers. I felt none of that in the sequels. Whoa, really? The First Order kept getting their asses kicked by the Resistance, except for, when they destroyed 5 planets at one time.
Right.
In all 3 movies, Phasma, Hux, and the Knights of Ren were horribly misused, and their main villain, Kylo Ren, couldn't decide whether he was good or bad in all 3 movies. No. He decided he was bad in the second one, and JJ said he wasn't.
In the first one, he decided he was bad in the first one and confirmed it in the second one. Then JJ turned him around. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. So that's obviously your opinion, but Hux and Phasma definitely were misused, but Kylo Ren was a great villain.
And Brett, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the best thing to do is know a lot of Star Wars going into the match. And
he's answering the prior question.
It's like, Rain Man, you're answering a question from half an hour ago.
I'm trying to figure out a good segue, and this is it, so that I can stop drinking this empty water. And I've done a bunch of times, so I'm going to go pop off and get some actual water in this jug rather than my stage drink I've been doing for a half hour now. 45 minutes. Actually, 45 minutes. I'll be right back to answer all your Star Wars questions.
Doc Dredd, side note to the Hamilton conversation, Jonathan Groff would make a perfect Frankenfurter in a Rocky Horror remake.
Oh,
He's got that sassy pizzazz that Curry brought. Any fans of Rocky Horror in the crew? My drive-in is doing a midnight showing this weekend. Stoked.
Oh, that's great.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it once, but yeah.
That was like
film.
That was my first year of college. I watched it for the first time on Halloween, and ever since then it's become like a Halloween tradition of mine.
Oh wow.
I really love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Cool. It's just an amazing movie all around.
Tim Curry is incredible in it. No?
Oh yeah, absolutely crazy, absolutely.
Yeah. That to me is my 2 favorite. I know people get mad at me because I don't like Clue, but my 2 favorite Tim Curry.
I know you don't like Clue or Goonies. That's like my 2 favorite movies on the
planet. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, wasp humor. No, I didn't say I don't like Lord of the Rings. I said I don't like the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings. It's different.
I hear what I want to hear.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. I would put a what's it? To me, it's the Devil in Legend, and what he does in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Those are 2 of my favorite Tim Curry performances, bar none.
Curtis donated $20. Yoshmos. Can we get Irish Rocha's Chicago Kate RB3 Luke and Drunk Brett inspired to freestyle rap after watching Hamilton?
Oh no.
We'll save it for the end.
We'll save it for the end.
Yeah.
Somebody come up with a beat.
Drunk Brett's. I was gonna say Drunk Brett is.
Yeah.
Not here.
Ace Money. I rewatched Aliens this weekend, and the score by James Horner is amazing. It's really atmospheric, and it dials the action scenes up to 11. The movie is pretty flawless. It's in my top 5 of all time.
Yeah. Another rest in peace, James Horner. We've lost a lot of great composers over the past few years. Please protect John Williams with every national security.
I hate to break it to you. I mean, he's in his 90s, RB. It's a matter of time, my man.
Nah,
but it's a very good sentiment, brother. It's a very good sentiment. But,
yeah. Never mind. Sorry, I lost it.
Brett, by the way, Brett just did a really good bit that none of us could hear because he was still muted.
Yeah.
Oh, I always do that. But my answer is Top Gun.
good soundtrack.
Sir Lord Attenborough, hey all, hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. RB3, I really enjoyed watching your appearance on Star Wars Explained with Ace. Great discussion and a fun listen. Anyone excited for the Old Guard? What is y'all's favorite film of hers? I love Tully. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron,
yeah. I'm super excited for the Old Guard. My favorite is obviously Mad Max Fury Road. So,
good choice.
Reindeer Games.
You can't say that with a straight face. You can't possibly say that with a straight face.
Cider House Rules.
Ooh, I gotta
choice.
say, I really, really loved her in Bombshell.
That's
good
one I
in
haven't
Bombshell.
seen yet. I still haven't seen Bombshell. I hear she's good in it.
It's good.
Was beyond.
Yeah.
She was. She sort of also.
I heard
mean, for
mixed
me,
things about it.
Well, I feel like she, regardless of the movie itself, but I feel like she did an incredible Megyn Kelly, and it's also in part because she's, in fairness, the only one I knew of the three women.
Oh,
well, because the one is sort of like a made-up version of all of these women's
yes,
stories. But
Margot Robbie's character.
Margot Robbie's character, yeah. But I didn't know Gretchen Carlson.
Okay.
But yeah, her as Megyn Kelly, I was like. Then I watched like Megyn Kelly talk about the performance, and I was like, "Oh, she nailed you. She nailed you."
I'll go with what RB3 was telling me earlier. It was like it was a little female heavy, if you ask me.
I gotta say, just the stunt, at least the staircase. Like, it's not my favorite movie, but that staircase scene in Atomic Blonde is one of the best stunt works like ever.
That's my answer. That's my answer. As much as I enjoy Mad Max Fury Road, it's her and Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
It is the culmination of everything we've seen from her. She is smart. She is sexy. She's tough as nails, and she fights like a fucking banshee through that movie.
They're tired. I love that, like how tired they are.
Yeah.
And it's a one take. I'm sure there's hidden cuts here and there. I don't really care.
Sure.
But just like the choreography that went into that fight, and that it just like go. Oh man, I love that. I love that scene.
So you guys like that? There was who doesn't? Christian doesn't like Atomic Blonde, or what? There's somebody.
It's not the best movie, but the stunts and action in it are great.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a sequel, but I don't know how much money it made. And
it made $100 million on a $30 million budget, so you can make an argument for a sequel. I don't know if they're
I know
do
John
it.
Wick was a big DVD rental success more than theatrical, and that's getting a fourth movie. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm always hesitant about Netflix action movies, though. I liked a lot of Extraction, but some of it kind of dragged for me.
Yeah.
And that Michael Bay piece of shit, like.
Oh, dude, I've yet to finish it. Hour into that Michael Bay, I was like, this is too much.
I couldn't when Ryan Reynolds went like this. I guess I'll have some aviation gin to the camera.
Yeah. It's too much dick swinging that was fake. You're just like, I don't want to see this.
I want to see real dicks.
Yeah, real dick swinging. Make it authentic. Swing it authentically, son.
Where's my Game of Thrones dick swinging?
Yeah, like the Expendables. That's dick swinging, son. Anyway, it's old dick.
I want that ass, and I want a swinging dick.
Give me them old swinging dicks.
Oh, Jesus. All right, now that's a soundbite. Somebody mark that.
No!
Clip it! Someone clip it! I want some old swinging dicks.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Timestamp 13730. RB3.
Is that a song in Hamilton? Give me old swinging dicks. Give me them old swinging dicks.
Dicks a swing. Swing a bling. Bling a swinging dick.
Oh, yeah. I didn't rap it. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Brett, I feel like, did you ever play The Music Man?
I don't know. We didn't do the Music Man.
I was gonna say
we got Trouble Right Here.
That's,
Right here
I would love
Trouble
to see
Right
Brett
here in
do
River
that.
City.
Starts with a T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Stands for pool.
I would have definitely taken the role.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have auditioned for it.
That was my junior year musical. Was Music Man. That was a good one. D-Train, one of my favorite scores is The Dark Knight Rises when Bruce is climbing out of that pit towards the top.
Oh, yeah.
And another is at the end of Kick-Ass when Kick-Ass saves and carries Hit Girl by flying through Manhattan.
Yeah.
I listen to both scores while working out.
That's a great score.
Dark Knight Rises is a really good score.
Yes.
And a great trailer. Adrian Bailey. Hi, gang. My favorite composer may be obvious, but it's John Williams.
Hey,
Jaws theme sticks to my head all the time. Hello to RB3, Brett, and Kate. Hi again, John. Twice in one day. I swear I'm not stalking you. Thanks,
Stalk
Adrian.
me all day long. I don't give a shit. Come back, come see me game time at 2:00. Stalk me all day long. Keep going.
You got old swinging dicks over on game.
Hell, I tell Winston and Jay you said that. Let's see the reaction there.
50 Shades of Geek. Kate, you shouldn't blame yourself for Ben's loss. You gave good advice. You had a great strategy. It just didn't go your way this time. You're still an awesome manager.
Wow.
Ben, as far as I'm concerned, you're still Rookie of the Year to me. Hey, Brett.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Thank you, 50 Shades.
That's
I appreciate that.
I also want to say, and nobody can, everybody go easy on Ben, because the truth is, we had such crisis leading into that match. There was no way either of us was on the top of our game.
No.
There was
Oof,
threats.
geez.
There was threats of being forfeited. His internet was out all day long.
Oh, right.
We were gonna have to film a forfeit. Then they're like, well, Kaiser's like, get him a hotspot. Can we drive him a hotspot there? We're trying to get him on his phone. We're testing.
Yeah, that's why my connection was so bad in the match. It's like I was on a hotspot on my
He was on
laptop.
a hotspot on his laptop. They had us try it on his phone. I was actually like, at first they didn't believe me that his internet was out. I actually had to look up the Spectrum outages in the area and send that information. It was, I'm just going to say, the fact that he played the match that he played, to me, he won the match as far as I'm concerned, because he was working from a deficit.
Well, this isn't backstage, so don't take a drink.
Yeah.
But I was saying, like, none of these are excuses. Robert beat me fair and square. We played the match, and he beat me fair and square. No asterisk by this at all. But it was a very stressful day leading up to it. And like, I hate getting frustrated. And Mark Ellis, I had a flat tire the other day before I went home, and like I literally tweeted out, "Oh man, I got a flat tire." Mark texted me 30 seconds later saying, "Do you need help?" So.
Yeah.
I'm not like, it was just an annoying thing of like cawing in my ear with the headphones on, but it ended up being a pretty funny bit.
Ellis is a Robin Hood. He's a Robin Hood, man.
Yeah. And Mark Ellis's birthday is tomorrow, by the way. My phone reminded me of that today.
Oh, I'm totally showing up with my mask on to give him something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some old swinging dick.
Anyway, swinging dick.
Oh, Jesus.
In dead ass.
People,
all right,
please send in your SCHMOEBOTS about this. Give us that old swinging SCHMOEBOT.
Old swinging dick, not been a SCHMOEBOT yet. That's what I want to know.
Hashtag.
Mr. Anus, how great is it to have Rocha on the show? Any historical fact checking needed? Rocha's been here for it all. Living.
See, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But I do like this
for
too.
The last couple of months. That's a good one.
Living La Vida Rocha. I like that. I like that. That's a new show coming to Down Nation.
Absolutely.
Living La Vida
Spanish.
Rocha. Love it.
50 Shades of Geek. Hans Zimmer's Lion King and Pirates of the Caribbean are some of my favorite movie scores of all time. Pirates of the Caribbean. Hans Zimmer's great at everything. Score. But man, I rewatched that Pirates for the Cocktails and Casting show on today at 4:30 p.m. We're recasting Jurassic Park. Speaking of John Williams' score, that's another good one. Make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, man, that was great. Anyway, what was I saying? What was that?
What were you saying?
Hold on, I gotta unplug something. 50 Shades of Geek. This movie sucked. But Patrick Doyle's score for Artemis Fowl is amazing. I can listen to that score all day without having to watch that movie ever again. I can't even begin to tell you what the score was in that movie because that movie was so bad.
That's interesting, though, that it maybe has a good score. I'll look into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad movies with great scores, though.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch the movie. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
AKG, I always wanted the song Kissing You from Romeo and Juliet soundtrack to play during my wedding.
Oh,
nice.
yeah. Loving you.
10-pointer. Who sang that song? 10-pointer. Who sang that song?
Celine Dion.
No. It's it's like Tracy Chapman, but it's not.
No, she's black, but not Tracy Chapman.
Shaka Khan.
What song?
No, it's not Shaka.
I don't know.
Loving You. God, I used to
Kissing
when
You.
I was
because you're beautiful. La, 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 la. It was Maya Rudolph's mom. No.
What?
Watch.
It was.
Minnie Riperton. That's who that was. That's the 70s song.
Yeah.
But she's talking about kissing you from...
I thought you were doing
Romeo and
Love in You.
I used to... No. But also, don't anybody ever laugh at Brett when he gives an answer, because he's not wrong about
Brett's
that.
always right. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I apologize,
Who it is,
Brett.
Rocha? Tell me who it is so I don't have to look it up.
Desiree.
Oh my God! When I was a wistful 15-year-old and that movie came out or whatever, I just listened to it. I'm like, someday a boy will kiss me. I was wrong. I would never be kissed.
Shout out to Cody Hall. He had Jurassic Park play at his wedding when he walked up. So
That's awesome.
I love him so much.
yeah, it was a great time. It was one
Oh,
of the
that's
best
a
weddings
great score too.
Tim Kaskuba. What's up,
Kaskuba?
Monday crew? Just doing my very small part to keep y'all around. Favorite
you.
score of all time is Howard Shore's Lord of the Rings. Woo!
Nice.
Used to run around my backyard with a plastic sword humming the bridge of Khazad-dûm. Absolutely. Caw. Thank you, Tim. Sir Lord Attenborough with the next two. Question for everyone. My family and I had a debate over the weekend. Do you think The Matrix belongs in top 5 science fiction films of all time? I argue yes, because it was so revolutionary for its time and still holds up. What do you guys think?
First of all, you've got a great family that's the debate you had this weekend.
Right?
True, very
Exactly.
true.
Yes, love your family. Love your family.
Love your family, different than mine.
What's the Matrix?
I say yes. It might be my young recency bias, but I rewatched it when it came out in Dolby this last year.
Oh, yeah.
In the theaters. It's like the CGI even still holds up, maybe for like 1 or 2 scenes, like just like Jurassic Park does. But I say yes, top 5. I don't know what the other 4 are, but definitely an argument for top 5 for me.
I'd say Jurassic Park's one of those 5.
Is that sci-fi?
Well,
So
it's not reality.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's not.
sorry.
I was gonna say
According to recent articles, it could be very soon.
Yeah.
yeah, it could be.
Oh, that's
but
true, yeah.
part of the Matrix that makes it tough is like if we are definitively categorizing Matrix as a sci-fi film, then yes, I would put it as a top 5. But
Okay.
I personally consider the first Matrix more of an action movie, and I consider Matrix 2 and 3 to be more sci-fi because, like, when you really look at the first one is way more action than it is sci-fi, and then it kind of flips for the sequel. So I don't know where to personally categorize it. But if it's definitively categorized as sci-fi, it is top 5 sci-fi for me.
But I mean, it's like Blade Runner more of a noir film than a science fiction film. Like just the setting is sci-fi. There's not actually like a lot of science fiction elements to it. Like you could make that same kind of argument.
Are you insane?
I think so. I mean, yeah, you're right. But I think the whole thing with like replicants and all that stuff makes it more sci-fi too. So it could go both ways. I think
Robots harvesting our energy for power in their
it's
future
sci-fi.
robot city.
Guys, stop
I think it's sci-fi.
fighting.
You guys, this feels like my family now.
I would have to say, yeah, I think it's top 5. I think you put Blade Runner, 2001, A Space Odyssey, Matrix, and depending on where you put Star Wars, if it's sci-fi or not.
no, that's not sci-fi.
No,
Come
don't
on now.
ever. Do you know?
Yeah, people get
you're
mad.
Lucky Christian.
Well, yeah, is it
on
like
this
is
show
it
right
fantasy?
now.
more
Sci-fi
than sci-fi?
fantasy.
I say
Yeah.
it's right.
I think the first
Don't-
Alien.
I'd put the first Alien up there too.
Yeah, I'd
or
put
is that
Alien
more
up
of a
there.
horror film? Like
I think that's a sci-fi. It's a creature
Yeah.
that comes onto the
Yeah.
ship. It's sci-fi. Yeah.
If a creature
I like
comes
it.
on your ship, it's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
It's also a huge mess.
yeah. Focus on something off screen real quick, Brett.
Arrival. That's a top 5 sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I like 2049 more than the first Blade Runner. So
Shoot
Oh,
you in
now
the face.
that's where.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
Next.
If you see
Next Streamlab, Ben.
yeah. Wait, Kate, you don't have a Wood Harris story you want to tell real quick?
Oh, that's
He
an
told
old
me
shot.
I have a beautiful baby.
Sir Lord Attenborough, jumping off the Atomic Blonde sequel discussion, do you think 4 to 6 episode miniseries is more realistic?
No.
I'd love to see her revisit that world and character.
No,
I'm down.
It's not realistic, but yes, it'd be fun to see.
I'm absolutely down. Yep.
Yeah.
Heading over to Super Chat, Amir Nail. Do you think Hamilton can resonate with the global audience? Is it up there with Cats? As a non-American living in Austria, I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah, that's tough.
I would imagine No. Well, this is what I would say. If somebody told me there was a great musical about the history of even a country that I like, about the history of Ireland, which is a country that I feel somehow connected to, I'd probably be like, cool. Like, I would have part of what I think got stirred in people, and this is what I was going to say earlier when you were asking about, did we like that we saw the staged version of it, is I think if you think back to 2015 when this thing came out and you remember going on Instagram, what did you see? You saw constantly pictures of people, like at least in my friend circle, on that set taking pictures with the cast. It was the iconic stage bill. I think there was something about like the fact that it happened in New York City, and there's that
Travis _Gilbert donated $20. Alan Silvestra's Back to the Future score is the best. I was in charge of music at my sister's wedding, and she didn't care what music I used, so she left the altar to the throne room song from the end of Star Wars Episode 4.
Wow! Oh my God!
Have you seen that clip of, because no one in Star Wars can hear the score that we're hearing? Have you seen that clip where it's just like noise and then like ambient noises and then like Chewie just roaring at the end?
Yeah,
it's one of the best fan-made things I've ever seen.
Super funny.
So what were you saying,
like,
Kate?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
prattling on.
I think like I think part of the reason why it resonated with us is like there's that whole song like New York City is the greatest city in the world. Like the people were watching it in New York City. Like, yeah, we do have the greatest city in the world. And like whether or not you want to feel proud about the country or proud of that period of history or whatever it is, like I don't think that I would not be interested about that in any other country that I love, because it wouldn't have anything to do with me. And I think the fact that this was so referential to us, or like something like immigrants, we get the job done, gets a applause line every time they say that. I don't care what production you saw it in, people cheer at that line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, I just feel like it resonates, and it had to be given to us in that stage version.
Yeah, it was like La La Land. Like people were saying, like it doesn't really resonate outside of Los Angeles. This story of two struggling artists and stuff like that. I know John's about to jump through the screen talking about.
Doesn't even resonate in Los Angeles for good.
Oh, John.
Oh, go John.
Is it really tough to be pretty and young and white? Is it tough to be in LA, pretty young and white? Is it tough? Anyway, go ahead. Next.
Is there anything that you would like to say about Hector Navarro?
He's not really Latino. He's been put on that the whole time. His name is Robert Jones. I'm gonna expose him once and for all.
He's like that character from Aliens.
It's all an act. Those aren't really his whiskers. Anyway, go ahead.
And he doesn't even need glasses.
And see just fine. I have a good authority.
Ray Riddle, Howard Shore's score for Lord of the Rings is probably my favorite. No lie, it's so good.
So good.
Yeah. Andrew G, what are your favorite Studio Ghibli films? Well, we just got HBO Max, so I'm going to be watching those this week for sure. So I haven't seen any of them besides Grave. Is Grave of Fireflies Ghibli?
That's Studio Ghibli.
It's the only one I've seen, and it's really good but very sad.
Yeah, not Miyazaki, but Studio Ghibli. I personally go with Spirited Away. That's my personal pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's Mononoke. There's something about that film that just kind of resonates with me, and I love it like crazy.
I agree with whatever Brett says.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm an expert in that genre.
Scrub nerd.
Oh, saved.
Wow, perfect.
$20. Got married last fall. My wife walked down the aisle to the Imperial March with a stormtrooper escort. After the ceremony, we walked out to the throne room theme.
Yeah, wow, these nerd weddings, I'm loving it.
I gotta tell you, these people, I'm so glad that I came up with that topic. You're welcome! Because I'm finding out everybody had a way more fun wedding than I did.
Dickie, care to comment? You want to crawl back in?
He calls in.
I thought it was great, honey.
You didn't do a synchronized dance, Kate?
We did a dance to, but later in the reception.
Cha-cha slide?
Yeah.
Sweet
by the way, that
Caroline.
How dare you? No, it was Rihanna's We Found Love in a Hopeless Place.
Oh, wow.
We did a kid in play dance.
Hey guys, last one for today. Kate, I know you big fan of The Wire. Do I cool story? The actor Play Slim is a local singer in my town of DC. He is in Go-Go Band. When I was younger, I used to be in a band, and before one of these show me and him smoke before it.
Wow.
Wait, Slim Charles?
That's what he's saying.
Well, you're not having a conversation with them, Kate. They can't. Like,
He's not gonna be able to respond.
No, wait.
No, send another. Just tell me, Slim Charles?
Yeah.
Keep sending $20.
Keep sending $20.
I'm gonna ask little tiny questions, and then you answer each individual one.
Okay, it's 11:57,
Okay,
you
we gotta
bombs.
do this.
50 Shades of Geek. If we're including TV, I gotta mention the Doctor Who composer Murray Gold. Every musical piece he did is gold. Get it?
Yeah.
The long song is the song I want to be played at my funeral. No song to be played at my wedding because that's never gonna happen.
Oh.
I feel your pain, 50 Shades. I feel your pain on that last
Oh,
one.
you shut up, Goddard. Go ahead. Next.
Gavin Min. Aloha, everyone. If I ever get married, I'd like the love thing from Forever Young by Jerry Goldsmith to be played.
Ooh,
My
RP
funeral.
Jerry Goldsmith, another classic. A lot of
Yeah,
great scores there too.
I'd love Yoda's theme. For my funeral, I'd love Yoda's theme and a more celebratory moment. I think Yub Nub would be fun. Have a great week, everyone. Oh, Yub Nub for the funeral would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Matt Chapman.
The Rudy theme for the Jerry Goldsmith Rudy theme for my funeral. I think everybody would be like,
I think the
I'd
point
walk
of me
out.
telling Ben to listen to the Hamilton soundtrack was misunderstood. I wasn't trying to intimidate anyone or tell him he had to listen to that many times.
Get him on level.
I just meant listening to the soundtrack independently helps with the bits that you miss while watching because of the information overload. I'm embarrassed by the reaction I caused. I didn't mean to offend.
Oh,
no,
no,
Matt.
no.
Not at all,
Ball
Matt.
busting.
We're just
no.
sorry. Roka's just he's just an
Oh, yeah, me, Ben. Yeah.
Don't take anything Rocha says personally.
No,
Chill,
don't.
guys.
Never
You
do
saw
that.
how he reacted. We all know Matt Chapman's actually Hector Navarro, so that's
Yeah.
why, that's why Roka reacted like that.
Robert Jones, I'm coming for you.
No,
Anyway,
Matt, like
just-
I understood what you were saying, but but no, we were just
playing,
joshing.
yeah, we're just messing around, bro.
Tavishko Production. Real Swing Dick sounds like a 90s skating cover band. 90s ska cover band. Hashtag Dick Jive and Wave.
Whoa, what?
Hashtag
Jive and
throw
wheel.
back a
Yeah.
bottle of dicks and hashtag Zoot Suit
Pac-Man Wayne
Roka.
donated $20. Yes, Slim Charles, his name Big G around here, and he Coco legend up there with Chuck Brown. John one now, Chuck.
Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers. Yes, sir.
oh my
That's
God,
awesome.
Slim Charles. Is
So don't forget Experience Unlimited. That was also an awesome. They did Doing the Butt for school days, for Spike Lee's school days. Man, Experience
the
Unlimited
Butt.
was the best. Doing the butt, you know.
doing the butt. Slim
Ow.
Charles, how tall is he, Dwayne?
Shut up.
He seems like he's so tall. Okay, anyway.
Oh, Kate is the
I
best.
heard
50
that he was
Shades of
taller
Geek.
than Wood Harris. Okay, go ahead.
I love
Oh, pardon Nugent.
If you listen close enough to the score for Lilo and Stitch, it's almost exactly the score for Back to the Future. Alan Silvestri is also one of my favorites.
That's good.
Okay.
I think-
Still alive. We got to protect him too.
Yeah.
Matt Chapman. That was the other one. Sir Lord Attenborough. Gladiator soundtrack is dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's
the
a good
opening
one.
battle scene is so epic with that score. One of the best soundtracks of 2000s, in my opinion. I work in retail, so I'd want that soundtrack playing while we battle that non-mask wearing dick bags. Wear a mask, bitches.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Agreed. He's wearing a mask.
50 Shades of Geek. Roka, I don't think I've heard your opinions on the Eurovision movie. I'm not a big fan of Eurovision in general, but I really like this one. I'm curious to know what someone who was alive for every single Eurovision thinks of this movie.
Yeah. What's the...
See, these are good. These are good. Finally,
Oh
some good
my-
old jokes. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know what's funny? We did do. My girlfriend had no idea what because she's a big Werewolf fan. So we saw the trailer, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I said, "This is Eurovision. It's a contest that they do in Europe." And so we went deep diving into Eurovision videos for like an hour on YouTube on the Roku, and she was just losing her mind at some of these performances, some of these people. And Celine Dion came out of the Eurovision
Oh.
Song
I actually
Contest.
wanted to research who
Yeah.
famous has come out of Eurovision.
Celine ABBA's the big one because they use
Yeah.
that in the movie, but Celine Dion is another one, and she wasn't even singing for Canada. She was singing for Switzerland, so they got her to sing
my
for
God.
Switzerland their song, and then she became famous from that. And then she comes back later as kind of like the alumni. This great
Pac-Man
alumni.
Wayne
But yeah.
donated $20. Goddammit late he like 6'6". You took all money today lol this week y'all getting $1.
Pac-Man, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
all those
Pac-Man.
donations, answering the
Yes,
trivial
thank
questions of Kate Mulligan.
Ew.
6'6".
Pac-Man Dwayne, we're dating now.
What was he wearing though? What was he wearing?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Suge9323, here to show my love for my favorite person, Kate, and my fellow Latino, Ben Goddard. Oh, hi, Dad. Good luck in your upcoming match. Hopefully you can get that win for your forgotten son. Hey, Brett and RB3, can we get you pick for Ace versus on Andrew?
Ooh.
Well, we know who RB3's picking.
Yeah, you know who RB3's picking, please.
And we know who Roker's picking.
No, I'm more of a more impartial observer.
Oh, I'm sure your teammate appreciates that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
RB3 and I should have a rap, but we should have a Hamilton rap battle about the Dimolanta versus Ace. Because I love Ace. I want to support my Latino brother. It is hard to be supporting Dimolanta against Ace because I'm so happy about what Ace has done. But, you know, got to get the points.
It's going to be a good match. I'm really looking forward to that.
think
Wednesday, 3 p.m.
Yeah, I think the story people want to see play out though is Ace winning because I think it's just like it's like
Dude, having a 4-0 competitor against Damon, like that's pretty good.
Oh, it's amazing.
I don't know if they want to see that story, Kate.
I do.
I agree with you.
They do. I definitely want to see that story play out.
Marzonia, don't forget the Enye. Using my sweet money from Schmoedown work to shamelessly say that my shot cover video on my channel. Love you all, especially miss you, especially Kate, Brett, RB3, and Ben.
Thanks.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks for leaving me out of that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep, anytime, Rocha. So yeah, go check out Alex Marzonia's cover of My Shot. It's really, really good.
Wait, did he leave me off that tweet? Did he leave me off that? Did he leave me off?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Alex did?
Yeah, of course he did.
Why? I had him on my show to preview his most recent song, RB3. I'll have you know. Clearly a waste of time.
Tell you what, RB3's indignant black man's pretty good too.
I don't know. I've seen
Guess
that
what,
too many
Rocha?
times.
You should have been tagging that tweet anyway.
Who are you talking to, man? Who do you think you're talking to, man?
No, that's Black Lana. Let's get
Let's get it, man. I've been there. My brothers in the Black Lana, they know what's up, man.
Oh, God. We almost got out of here. We almost got out of here.
Oh,
For John's Black Lana impression.
50 Shades of Geek. It's tough to pick a favorite John Williams score, but I got to give the edge to Superman 78. Easily my favorite superhero
That's a good
movie
score.
ever.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to end the show. And then one last one from 50 Shades.
And we still have that impression, too.
I know. That's Rocha should join R&B in the Hating Navarro Club. Oh, God.
Wow. Is R&B? No, he's joking.
No,
like,
he was joking because of the inner geekdom stuff.
That's right. That's right. No, I love
So,
it.
yeah, so it's Drunk Brett, Chicago Kate, Irish Rocha, and Indignant White Man doing their best Hamilton freestyling. So
I think it's actually Luke. I think they put Luke in here.
Oh, they
this
put
time.
Luke? Okay.
Yeah,
I think I just wanted to see
don't all
Indignant
look
White
like
Man doing it. I was being selfish.
Not all white guys look alike, man. All right. I'm just going to do the bit. I'm just going to do the bit.
Okay.
oh. Hamilton. Yeah, his name is Hamilton. I didn't see the musical, so I don't know how to do a rap about it.
Hi, my name is Luke. They call me Bluke. I like blue milk, and I like to blue. Toshi converters.
Hamilton's the greatest musical I saw. Kate Mulligan, please fix your bra.
There it is, guys. Thank you. All right, we are running over. Rocha, take us out.
All right, thanks everybody for watching us here live on a beautiful Monday morning here on SEN Live. You guys are awesome for riding and dying with us. Thanks for all the Streamlabs, Superchats, and all of the SCHMOEBOTS. We really appreciate it. You know, if you all want to enjoy us every day, you got to send in that money and support the show. So we appreciate it madly. Have yourself a great rest of your Monday. Do something positive for yourself. It's the beginning of the week. Start it off strong and have a fun week. That's all I got to say. Thanks to Ben Goddard.
Portman.
Thanks to RB3. Thanks
Sorry,
to Kate
Natalie
Mulligan.
Portman.
Thanks to Brett Sheridan. Sorry, Natalie Portman.
Sorry,
and anyone
Natalie
else we
Portman. I'm
offended.
sorry.
Sorry, Hector Navarro.
We love you, Natalie.
Sorry, Hector. Sorry, Matt Chapman. Sorry to anybody we offended. We love you all madly. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow for another live episode of SEN Live.